What is up, you heathens and demons, you blasphemous, beautiful people? Welcome to a very, very late show at A Raging Atheist. Real quickly, before I throw it over to the moderator, Neal will be coming in, and Marty will be coming in when they're ready. Neal said he'd probably be a little late. Marty might be a little late as well. Inquisitive is having audio troubles, so if Inquisitive can't come in, if somebody else would like to come in, they can. But we're going to go ahead and get the show started, and then they'll come in when they're ready. Real quick before I throw it over to Ali, who is moderating, and we start this discussion, I'm going to announce that tomorrow at noon, I have Faye the Most Gracious on, and it's going to be a really good conversation. John will be here. And we're going to be talking with Faye. We're going to be talking to an ex-Islamic Muslim who is actively against Islam. So, and Faye is Bay. I really like Faye is one of my favorite people right now. There's Marty. What's up, Marty?
Hi.
Tuesday evening at 9:00 Eastern, I will be having, it'll be me and Ali, maybe John will be there, and we'll be talking to Richard Mattson. And then either Tuesday or Wednesday, very, very late, a very, very, very late Raging Atheist stream, I should be having that Christian vlogger back on the channel for a conversation. So what is up, everybody? There's Inquisitive. Neal did say he might be running a little bit late, so I'm going to throw it over to Ali. Ali, what is up?
Hey, Naka. So this is a topic that I'm not going to lie, we picked in part because Neal was going to be coming tonight, but we wanted to talk a little bit about the way that the Christian emphasis on community and the sort of exclusionary element to the Christian faith, this idea that if you don't believe in the Christian God, in Jesus, in the salvation and all that, the way that that particular toxic element to the faith tends to pressure people with how heavily, the faith tends to emphasize community into being stuck in that community, even if they stop believing, how difficult it can be to leave. And also, in some ways, how that community can be used to manipulate and harm members of it that either may be experiencing doubts or may have some, contradiction between the way they express themselves and their faith. So we wanted to talk a little bit about that, and given that Neal is kind of he is the coming out as atheist story, the, deconversion story specialist, we figured it'd be fun to chat with him. But IQ and Marty are here also, and Marty, this is the first time I've had a show with you. So wanted to give everybody a chance to introduce themselves really quick. I usually go to my right, so this one guy, do you want to introduce yourself really quick?
Hi, yes, everyone. Just this one guy. I really don't do much on my channel, but I'm always up for discussion and talks, and yeah.
Don't be shy. You have live streams on your channel. This one guy.
I do, but they're not that often, like I said. So it's I do stuff, but it's really just talking. Really, it's not like I'm seeking to make content or anything, So it's meh. I'm just a guy.
You're just this one guy.
And
your description is in the link below.
So IQ.
Hello, can everybody hear me good?
Yes, you're a little bit muffled, but we can actually hear you now.
Excellent. I've been having some serious internet issues as of lately, but at least I was able to join. So hello, everybody. IQ. I prefer recovering idiot, but IQ will do just fine. Just like this one guy, I'm nothing fantastic, just another person with a goal, and that's to spread compassion and understanding amongst people where it's drastically uncommon nowadays, to just try to bring people together and offer people inspiration, because that is the most powerful thing that you'll never know that you gave somebody. So that's my goal. I'm a muse. I provide support to people that I feel are doing good in this world, and that's what I do best right now, and that's about it.
Seems like quite the calling. So, Marty, from what I understand, you used to come on quite a lot before Nock had moderators. So, welcome back to the channel, and welcome for the first time to one of my moderated streams.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, well, I'll be sitting at work, and then I'll get an email that says, Nock's doing a live stream, Coffee with Naka. And I answer phones for a living, and Nock swears like a drunken sailor on shore leave. So I can't listen to Nakasuchi while I'm at work. So, and he doesn't do the open rooms on Fridays like he used to anymore. Now he has moderate stuff. So if I don't catch the email until later.
I started doing them earlier.
Yeah, so if I don't catch them, but yeah, I'll be like, oh, great, Nakasuchi's live. I got to answer the phone. Can't listen to Nakasuchi right now. So, but yeah, so I'm Marty, and I do have a YouTube channel. I just don't have it up yet. It exists. I will inform Nakasuchi when it's ready, and he can pimp it out for me because I'm gonna need help getting subscribers. It's called Nerd Wars, and it's gonna be like debate channel about like nerdy stuff, because that's really important stuff. Really important topics. Like, I've used the example of who's the superior captain, Kirk or Picard. Stuff that's really been plaguing philosophers for years.
I'm gonna put myself in the Picard camp. Just saying.
Me too.
So, normally I suggest that everybody gives sort of an opening statement on the topic with their introduction, but my meds are kicking out, and I've got ADHD, so at this time of night, I might be a little bit scattered, and I apologize to anybody who's not used to seeing me in this state. Do you guys, do any of the three of you have sort of a strong, pressing, sort of opening opinion you'd like to express on Christian community? And if you want to talk about the positives of it, you can as well. But kind of like my focus generally is on the more negative aspects because I am a deconvert myself. I'm polytheist at this point. But like I had a lot of really negative experiences in our community. Like I almost didn't pursue my dreams because of, quote, a woman's place as programmed by my church. So that's some of the stuff that I've got. So I'm biased. I'm going to do my best to be fair if anybody gets into an argument or anything. But that's my position on it. And I'm curious what you guys think.
As a fellow polytheist pagan, and I practice witchcraft, I don't have a deconversion story. I was not raised Christian. My dad is almost Aaron Ra level of atheist, and my mom is lapsed Catholic, so it was never really a thing. And I discovered paganism in high school, and it was the only thing that made sense to me. I'm from New Jersey, so I didn't really get a whole lot of backlash about being pagan or practicing witchcraft there. But when I moved down south to Georgia, forget about it. Like I've had a lady at the restaurant I used to work at literally come up to me and told me that I was going to hell. She's like, you're going to hell, right? Because you don't believe in Jesus and you're a witch. You're going to hell. I'm like, bitch, you don't know me. Like, she's like, well,
how the fuck would you know?
Right? What the fuck? I mean, are you kidding me? So, I mean, I have had some good experiences with Christians, like Richard, for one. Richard's great, and like Messenger reveals John. So I've had some good experiences with Christians, but where I live in Georgia, oh yeah, it's all been just, what church do you go to? Oh, you don't go to church? Oh, you're pagan, huh? Oh, have fun in hell. Or bless your heart. That's what they say down here, which is Southern for go fuck yourself. Bless your, right, Nock? That's Southern for you're fucked, or fuck you, or go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. That's what that is.
That's exactly what that is. And when you and I'm bisexual on top of that, so yay. So
hey, sounds like we've already got a lot in common.
I know, girl. Every time I'm listening to stream with Nock, I'm like, gosh, she sounds so cool.
For what it's worth, by the way, I'm a Hellenic Reconstructionist, so that's what I believe in.
Okay. My focus is mostly on the witchcraft side of it. I don't know if you can see my altar for Samhain is already lit.
It's pretty.
Thank you. But I focus mostly on the witchcraft side of it. I don't really get too into the philosophies because I really don't think that I have. I don't like to say that I have beliefs because I don't have to prove the existence of nature where my craft and my pantheon is rooted in.
Fair enough.
I don't hold to the supernatural. Everything I do is from nature and from the earth itself. So I don't feel like I have beliefs. So
well, we do need to stay a little bit on topic. Like,
sure. Sorry, my bad. See, I have ADHD too. And I don't even take Adderall anymore. What's up now?
Yeah, I still take mine, but mine kicks out between about 9 and 10 my time. So anyway, I do want to let other people make their opening statements because, you know, as awesome as it is to meet for the first time, I want to make sure everybody's on topic, especially because Neal's going to be coming in soon.
Well, yeah.
So, IQ, do you have any commentary on what you see as the benefits and the negatives of Christian community? Like, what do you think is the main focus as far as, like, this topic is for you?
Oh, boy, do I.
Well, that's a great way to start.
I'm married to a fundamentalist Pentecostal.
That sounds interesting.
Whoa.
Interesting is the word. I did not marry her this way. She has family that are pastors, and her sister had an experience and kind of started taking her to church. And she also had an experience. I won't delve into it too far, but she is head over heels in love with Jesus. And I can't do anything to stop that, nor exactly do I want to. I would like for my spouse to not be a fundamentalist Pentecostal, but I
trying really hard to use the proper word here.
Yes. I want my wife to be happy and comfortable with whatever gives her comfort in this life. If she can't find comfort in logic and reason and everything that I use, and she does use logic, she does use reason, but they're just different reasons. And not everybody's going to be convinced of the same thing, and I am thoroughly convinced that nobody, including myself, has any of the answers to the cosmos. I just go by with what seems right, and I'm not going to tell somebody that they're wrong, and I'm certainly not going to hate anybody or certainly divide my family over a conflict of ideas that I don't have the answers to. So I am a humanist before anything. So I will give my wife the respect. I will give anybody the respect, especially if I'm not given it, because I need to set the example and I need to be a positive secular influence in my house. Because if we divorce, we have 3 children that she could remarry somebody that's worse than she is about it. And I have no idea what this person would be capable of, and I don't want to subject my kids to that. And I just, you know what? It's not that bad. It's not a big problem, even though it's tough.
I wanted to cut in really quick, especially because, hey, look, Neal gave me a perfect opportunity to welcome Neal. So I wanted to cut in really quick for you folks who are doing super chats. If Naka will display them, and I'm gonna make sure that they get put into our little private chat bar in the StreamYard client so that he sees them. But if your question in your super chat is off topic, there is a chance that it will not get answered, or it will not get answered until the end. So be aware of that. If you're asking questions that are on topic with your super chats, we'll try to address them as soon as there's an opening in the conversation. If it is off topic, then there's a chance that it will not get answered until the end. And that's just because we don't want to derail the conversation any more than my ADHD brain and Marty's ADHD brain managed to on their own. So
mine.
I have enough problems.
And IQ. Apparently, we have 3 neurodivergents in the chat. Yay! This is going to be a fun night.
Hello,
We have Jill in the chat as well. DJ Joker 12 is Jill.
We have Aaron Benton in the chat too.
Oh, Aaron's in the chat? I need to.
Yep.
I need to.
Aaron Benton is in the chat. I said hello to him earlier. So now that we have that perfect segue, Neal, welcome. Do you want to give yourself an introduction? You've actually got a fan in the chat who came over here just for you.
Apparently, my stalkers are following me. Anyways, yeah, my name's Neal. I live in Vancouver, British Columbia, or should I say, apparently what our local government likes to promote, Vancouver, beautiful British Columbia. But yeah.
Pacific Standard Time for the win.
Yeah, Pacific Standard Time. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're like neighbor. You're actually part of one of the local First Nations groups here, the Haida.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, which is awesome. And anyways, I do a little show here on YouTube called Deconversion Stories, where I talk to people about their journeys away from religious beliefs or whatever belief systems they once came from. Because like many, or I should say at least two of the folks in this chat, I myself was once a pagan as well. I went from Judaism. I kind of have a really unique story, at least I think. I was adopted. All right. I was brought home on Halloween Day. Yay. But I was adopted. I was raised in a 57 Chevy. No, I was conceived in a 57 Chevy, which right off the bat, I'm already like, sweet. But I was conceived to a couple of Catholics, and they were young, very young. And my birth father's mother was a very staunch Catholic. So, of course, having kids outside of marriage was a very, very bad thing. So they put me up for adoption, and I was adopted by a Jewish couple. So I was raised Jewish, born Catholic, raised Jewish. And around my bar mitzvah, I decided that this stuff was horseshit, because how do you fucking lose your strength after somebody cuts your hair? That's just ridiculous, which is probably why I keep mine, because it actually might be real. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways.
So if your hair and Ocean's beard ever teamed up forces, the world would be in trouble.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Ocean and I.
I was the one cracking those jokes, by the way.
Just talk to anyone who was at Faithless Forum with Ocean and me. They'll tell you how much damage him and I did. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. And Noka, man, you're going to be the one coming up, right?
Yeah. I'm going to be there.
Dude, we're gonna get so fucked up together. It's not funny. Like,
I am going to save up to actually try to make it as well, considering I'm now getting to know all these people in the community.
Well, why not? I mean, it took me. I was the one that I think finally broke the. I don't want to say this wrong. I was the one that finally convinced Ocean to go, because he was like, him and I were talking. He's like, what am I going to do? A bunch of atheists. I'm like a polytheist. I'm like, so what, dude? You already are loved by like a good chunk of the community. You Shannon Q likes you, Paula G likes you, Eric likes you from Talk Heathen, Jamie, everyone likes you. Like, don't even worry about it. And so he's like, yeah, okay. And then he showed up, and of course, him and I had this thing going at the time where we drink and we know things, right? So him and I were doing that whole Lannister, what's his name? Somebody help me.
Tyrion. Oh,
thank you.
Tyrion Lannister.
Yeah, Tyrion Lannister. We're doing the whole Tyrion Lannister thing. We drink and we know things. It was pretty funny because Jim Majors came in and he joined us, and then we ran out of beer. So Jamie and I stumbled across the street to the gas station together to get another couple of cases of beer, which everyone was really good at helping me finish. So we had a lot of fun, man. It was a great time. And Naka, man, you got to come down, dude, because we got to fucking hang.
I can't wait. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be there. I've already told my boss I will be gone during that period. So yeah,
expect me to be absent.
Yeah, I will not be at work. And I've made promises to people.
So given we actually partially picked this topic, as I said in the introduction, because you were going to be here, we wanted to talk a little bit about the way that Christian community, if you have anything positive to say about it, you're welcome to. Like, we were hoping to get a little bit of positivity, but also you specialize in deconversion stories. That's what your channel is all about. So talking about some of the difficulties that the level of community that Christianity emphasizes, particularly certain denominations like, say, Baptists, Catholics, etc., how that can make it very difficult if one stops believing to properly exit, how that can be a barrier. So things of that nature, the way that the community can be toxic towards people who don't quite fit the mold of it, those sorts of things. That's kind of what the topic was tonight.
When you say they don't fit the mold, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, LGBTQ folks frequently struggle with, their identities bucking up against the
Acceptance.
community.
It's
Yeah.
about acceptance, yeah.
Sometimes in some communities,
By the way,
if you get a tattoo, that can be problematic. Yes.
Oh, I need
Trans
it.
rights.
That shirt's dope.
if you guys want to know where you can get this, it's just Shannon Q's merch store. She makes these, and it's
That's
brilliant.
awesome.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, I have to have one of those shirts.
Yeah, I gotta get one of those shirts for real.
My position on how I mean, not just even Christianity, because remember, I grew up in the Jewish faith. So just religion and faiths in general, they all, of course, have their communities. And for what they are, they're fine. But the thing is, you can find the exact same thing through secular means. I mean, if you just take a look at we're talking about pagans and atheists even that are hanging out and getting along and getting together. Because I think that the pagans and the atheists both share similar agendas, although we don't have your beliefs, because we found our way out of all that stuff, which is fine. That's the way, beliefs really aren't a choice. You're convinced by something. So, and I was convinced for many years on multiple different levels, but I eventually getting into the sciences myself, I just eventually found my way out, just because I couldn't give rational, or not so much rational, but reasoned explanations for my original beliefs. So I just found my way out that way. But community can be found, and religion does not have a strong arm on community. I mean, they just don't, because we could just look at us. We're getting along now, and we don't have.
Yeah, we actually talked about that on Sticks and Stonehenge during our last live stream.
I saw a little bit of that one. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about the ways that, like, pagans tend to build interfaith communities, meaning, like, a lot of people like to group us all into one big umbrella, but, like, Ocean's a heathen, Marty's a witch, and I'm a Hellenist. We ostensibly, we all share that we're pagan in that we're not part of the Abrahamics, and we're not Buddhists specifically, and we're not one of those big header, faiths. We are outliers from that, and we tend to get lumped into that group. But ostensibly, we all have very, very different beliefs, but we can get along with each other. And we talked about the reasons for that a little bit. One of the big ones being that none of the pagan faiths that I've met have afterlives that are dependent on God belief, whereas the Abrahamics, they definitely do.
Yes, they do. Oh yeah, I would agree with that.
Like,
Also, we have similar agendas when it comes to like proselytization. Like you get a lot of
fuck that shit,
right? Like being one myself, I remember a lot of it was solitary practice. A lot of it was, we don't go around spewing that we do all this stuff. If it comes up in conversation, we're happy to talk about it. But it's to each their own kind of thing, right?
Well, yeah, basically, like, some Reconstructionists will actively discourage you from joining their faith because it's a lot of homework, and just declaring you're pagan one day doesn't do it, basically. Mm-hmm. Most of the Reconstructionist religions are, we're very orthopraxic, and so learning right practice, learning tradition, and learning history, like, history is such a huge component of the Reconstructionist faiths. I wanted to give an opening, by the way, for either Marty or IQ to join in if you guys wanted to talk about sort of the interfaith connection between pagans and atheists and how that differs from the way Christian community works.
It all boils down to
being a witch. My head. Sorry.
I do. I admit to being a witch, and I've been practicing witchcraft for
I was once one too.
For fuck's sake. 2019, people.
Here,
so many Christians still think we should just burn you, Marty. We should just burn you.
One of the books I had right here.
Yeah.
Do you know this?
No.
The Science of the Craft.
Ooh, yeah, Ken Hovind wants me dead. Ken Hovind wants me dead
too, because I'm a damn dirty pagan.
Yeah. We'll definitely let y'all get in. I'm going to go and fill my drink, and then I want to get in too, because I do have some things to say about this.
Like, fuck, dude, you're usually a chatterbox. Did somebody fucking not pull the string or something?
I'm trying to let other people
go. Pull that string.
I know. I'm trying to let
Naka's being nice. Let him be nice, Neal. Don't pick on him.
I'm not picking on him. Fuck, as soon as I started watching Naka's videos, I was like, I fucking like this guy.
Well, thank you, Neal. I'm a bit rough around the edges. I admit it.
oh, come on! Come on, we're all so smooth.
Yeah.
Like, look at that baby.
So I want to let, all right, like guys, come on, you can have your bromance off camera. No, I'm kidding.
I'm sorry.
Like I wanted to let IQ finish what they were trying to say because like that started and then the jokes happened.
Hey, IQ, nobody cares, man. Nobody cares.
Isn't that the story of our lives, huh? Anyway,
you are. IQ is the moderator extraordinaire. Just so you guys know. Sorry, I felt that was.
Yeah, it's I support. That's what I do. Since I don't have the means to really put my own content out there, I might as well just help the people that already have something going and support the community that way. So it's whatever you got to give.
That's what I tried to do, and then I ended up involved in 2 different YouTube channels through no fault of my own.
With what you were saying, it's really about the proselytization. It's, are you called to have everybody believe what you believe? And that's the problem with most Abrahamics, is that they are called to
spread the word, yeah.
Convert everybody. And that's the same problem with a lot of atheists. Maybe not even a lot, but the atheists that do cause problems are the ones that just can't let anybody believe something that they find to be ridiculous, regardless of its truth value. They just come right out and say, "Oh no, you're wrong. You're stupid.
Yeah.
How could you fucking believe that?" And those are the assholes in the community.
I was that
right?
way too once.
My dad's like that.
Any of Abrahamics that are out there, as soon as they learn you're an atheist, you're all of a sudden just a son of a bitch, and you're wrong. You're gonna burn in hell, and it's just a bunch of negatives. But all the pagans that I've met, they're like, "Oh, cool. You're an atheist. This is what I believe," and then you just move on. Like, "Oh, you hungry?"
Yeah. We really don't care. We really don't care.
Yeah, they don't care if you're an atheist. What they care about is how you react to them. Don't. And I got in a lot of trouble with this when I came out and talked about atheists, and all of a sudden I was being controlled by the polytheists. They literally don't proselytize. Like, that Christian vlogger is my friend. I love him. He proselytized to me at least about 65% of the time he was here. So, like, it's like ingrained in Christians. It's just something they do. I've never had a pagan proselytize to me.
No, we're not going door to door going, have you heard, have you accepted the Lord and Lady as your...
So let's go ahead and have a conversation about the Anusos.
Yeah, really. Like, we don't have that. That's not a thing. Like, if you're, if I'm...
I would have let you come in, though, if you were. I would have been like, this conversation I can have.
Yeah.
Like, we don't, like, if I'm sitting, we're sitting on a bus with somebody and someone says, "Oh, I'm an atheist," and I say, "Oh, I'm a pagan," and okay,
that's
cool. That's it. And maybe we talk about fucking, whatever. And okay, we don't feel the need to, like, I don't want to say spread.
Thump your book of shadows.
Yeah, we don't.
Thump your book of shadows.
Yeah,
I do agree, like, with Inquisitive Quandary. Like, my whole point with this argument is I think that we all have community and we all have, like, kind of pressures to stay in that community.
Pressure?
Not really.
Yeah. Well, maybe not so much in, like, other, like say in our community, in the atheist community. I see some shit on Twitter. I'm like, all right, I'm just not going to get involved with that.
Well, actually,
I don't, but
Naka, can I cut in a little bit? There is, from the fundy side, and atheo-fundamentalism is what we tend to refer to on Sticks and Stonehenge, to that sort of proselytization behavior. Naka's familiar with this because, like, he's hung out with Callan and I enough to know this. But, like, Chris actually came out as polytheist here on one of these shows and was scared to death to do so because he was worried he would lose a bunch of his friends that were a little more on the fundy side of the atheist community. So that does exist a little bit. It's significantly less in the atheist community, though, than it is in any of the larger, like the Christian community or, some of the ones like that.
Well, I believe the proper word that Knox should have used right there is stigma, not pressure.
The stigma is proper.
Yeah, maybe not so much pressure.
To act a certain way. And you're supposed to have a certain view on things. And, you can't be cool with them because, they don't... they believe in something. How can you be, an asshole to the Christians and you're cool with them? They believe in something ridiculous too, don't they? And it's not about that.
Yeah, because there is a difference. Like if you there is a definite difference. Because when you look at Abrahamics in specific, I'm going to be talking with Faye the Most Gracious tomorrow. I've been interacting a lot with Faye. I've been following her on Twitter ever since I first met her.
Fantastic.
And what she gets, like seriously, it is a different level than what we get from Christianity. And it's just this Abrahamic thought mode that like we're automatically the enemy. And our one Christian here has dropped out. I thought he'd come back. This one guy. Hopefully he'll come back because I do want to have a Christian voice to kind of come
Richard's
back.
in the chat.
But yeah, there is a difference when it comes to Abrahamics. Like they do kind of use their community. Like people are afraid, that they're going to lose everything if they leave that religion. To where if you're like,
that's what they want them to think, though. But you know damn well it's not true.
Yeah, it's not, and that's why people like me and you, Neal, and Inquisitive, everybody that's here right now can look at them and say, "Hey, it's not true." We have community. We still have the same things. We're still the same people. We didn't change. We just stopped believing in a God.
Well, there's still some dicks in our ranks, but most of them are pretty cool.
Yeah, most of them are pretty cool.
I think that there's a particular phase that a lot of atheists go through where they are angry and they do kind of want to disprove everything.
It's usually immediately after.
Yeah, and it can last sometimes up to a couple of years, I think, and some folks just don't grow out of it, and they kind of attach, like that latent Christianity attaches to, that scientific kind of proselytization, and it just goes unexamined. I think that that's part of it. I've seen, some pagans that become as fundamentalist as some Christians that I've seen. Sure. It's very rare in our community, but it does happen. Like, if you deconvert from an Abrahamic faith, there are impressions left behind, and Ocean did a fantastic video on that.
Oh,
yes, he did. Yep.
And sometimes that anger can last a really long time. Like, especially if you feel like you can't come out and talk to people. Like, if you try to talk to people about it and then they just completely shut you down. It happened to me. And that's why I made a raging atheist. That's why I became a raging atheist. Is because, like, fuck you. You guys aren't going to let me talk. I'm going to talk to everybody that'll listen. If you guys that love me can't actually listen to me and accept me for who I am, I'm going to talk to every damn person that I can. And now every single one of them look at me and are like, holy shit, you're at 2,000 subs. I'm like, it's not really that much on YouTube standards, but like, holy shit, 2,000 people like what you say.
Not bad, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they can't fucking understand it because they just ignored me for 15 years. So when I finally came out, 2 years, it was like rage, and then it's like, oh shit, let's hold up a little bit. We gotta tone it down just a little bit.
dude, you need to be more in the side of the community that I'm on because there's a hell of a lot of support there. So we got to do something about getting you because your subscriber count should be fucking 25 times the amount it is, in my opinion.
Thank you. I did keep myself isolated for a very long time to where now I'm.
Was that intentional?
Yeah, well, it was because I didn't understand the community. I started.
By the way, we have the same taste.
Yeah, we
in penis-shaped mics. So
mine is blue.
Oh, so yours is actual blue Yeti.
Yes, mine is a blue Yeti. So I do want to pull us a little bit back to the topic at hand, specifically about the way that the Christian community tends to operate and the kind of things that it stigmatizes and what we think some of the positives might be, but also the difficulties in leaving. Because I think that for religious communities in particular, and especially some of the more cult-like Christian denominations, I think there's sort of, I wouldn't quite call it unique, but it might be, you might be able to continue it, to consider it unique. There's this particular form of pressure and stigma and just like overbearing like weight that the community can put on you if you're in those particular, like, again, cult-like branches of Christianity or straight-up cults in the case of things like Jehovah's Witnesses. So given both that, Neal, you've done a bunch of deconversion stories, IQ, you've been a moderator, Marty, you've talked a little bit about a number of different things here. I'm curious what your guys' opinions are specifically on that, since we've talked about communities as a whole and the more positive communities that we're a part of.
Oh, so like... I'm not. Wait. Be a little bit. Wait. You want to know like some of the stuff that I've heard through the deconversion stories about the community aspect?
Oh, sure. That or your own experiences and opinions that you've seen. Like, even if you want to talk about the Jewish community that you grew up in and some of the positives and negatives you experienced there.
Mm. Oh, you know what? I'll tell you right now, some of the best memories that I have from, we'll say, my childhood, my early, maybe from around 11 to 14 area, where all of my friends from that period were going through their bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs. The best part about that was the parties that came along with that. So these are some really memories that have stuck with me, because the community aspect is great, but like I said earlier, you can still get that through secular means. So that's one of the reasons why I say the whole community isn't something that should be an anchor for keeping you believing in that particular.
But it can become one.
Yes, but that's what I mean. Like it was for me for many years, so I totally get that. But it's not. It doesn't. You can find the same thing without having that. That's what I mean.
Well, and I think that that's a lot more possible nowadays, right? Like, if you go back even 40 or 50 years,
that's true.
without the internet and without a lot of technology, it'd be a lot harder to find like-minded individuals if you were born into, say, a particularly religious town.
Yep. Absolutely agree with that, for sure. The technology has made this a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't think people even really understand that there is a community outside of their faith. Like, I didn't. Like, I was isolated for years and years and years.
Me too.
By myself, you know?
The ambiguity helps, right? Of being online, being a face, of a faceless face. Here you are just kind of hiding behind the internet, and you can be whoever you want to be. And a lot of the times that person is who they are, and they can't be that in real life. Because, I mean, how many of the people in the religious community, end up being like crypto Jews or crypto Christians? Just they're just like kind of faking it because of their situation in the family, and they don't want to deal with the shunning. When you put too many fucks in one basket, it's when you're dealing with the same type of people, where you just want to have community. Community is great. It brings people together. But when your community is too tightly knit and you haven't spread out and reached out to people who aren't exactly like you, you're dealing with an echo chamber, and that can be implosive. And you can't.
Yeah, you know what? We're all victims of echo chambers all the time.
Well, yeah, we build our own.
You got to keep that in mind, right? We all have our own little echo chambers. Sometimes they merge, sometimes they don't.
Indeed.
So,
I've literally seen to where community actually changes people. Like, we were a northern family that moved to the south. My dad was very liberal, hair down to his ass before he joined the army.
I like him.
Yeah, a very liberal person. And 20 years down south, surrounded by Southern Baptists in a very, very, very conservative part of North Carolina. My dad's now a Southern Baptist, very, very conservative person. Like, I've literally watched my dad change. And
morphology?
Yeah, like he was slowly over time. It's like he is all in at this point.
Wow.
Like,
how did you let that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. And it's because he moved down there so long ago, and just over time, for a long time, I watched my dad resist it. Like, he's still that old liberal. Yeah.
How'd they get him?
I don't know. Because I've been gone for like 15 years now, but now he's
cookies, wasn't it? It was fucking cookies.
I don't know. It is. Yeah, it's something in the water down in North Carolina. I'm telling you.
I like cookies. I'm just saying.
I wanted to give an opening for Marty to chime in, if she would like to, by the way.
If she just said she liked cookies.
I like cookies. Yeah, I see. I have a really different experience. I wasn't raised Christian. My dad is like an atheist, like Arn Bra level atheist.
Richard fucking Dawkins.
Yeah, like capital A atheist. Yeah. And the reason he was like that is because he went to Catholic school. He's from South America. So he was raised Catholic. Like, back in the day when nuns used to be able to hit kids, that's the kind of Catholic school he went to. and he had to because his parents were Catholic. Yeah. So when he came here, when he said, he said to himself, "Yeah, had kids. He's not forcing it on his kids," and he didn't. But it was weird because he, even though I'm pagan and practice witchcraft, he didn't want any of that stuff in his house. I'm like, but like he would see like my spell books on the shelves and shit, and he's like, "Well, we don't have Bibles in the house." I'm like, "Well, Dad, these don't work like Bibles. They're not the same thing. They're not the same thing." And I'm like, and I don't understand. I'm not. What do you? So
you could say the witch's Bible or the Satanic Bible could be considered close, but that's about as close as it gets.
That's only if you're a Levain Satanist. Not
to ride a silver broomstick by fucking Silver Ravenwolf. It doesn't work that way. So he went from being a Catholic to so much of an atheist that he didn't want anything that resembled belief anywhere near him.
Really?
So, yeah, like he knew I was pagan and he was okay with me doing that.
But it hurts.
Yeah, but when I first moved down to Georgia, I had to live at home for a minute. So like I couldn't do anything that like I couldn't do circles, I couldn't do rituals. I had to do like subtle shit, like kind of, and it was difficult.
Did you not have somewhere you could go to do that?
No. Well, my parents have a backyard, and then where their backyard ends is a tree line, and there's woods and shit back there. So I would go back there, and he started giving me shit about that. I'm like, "Dad, that's not your property. This is the woods behind. There's like 4 houses back here that butt up against these woods. So this is not. Once I pass the tree line, I'm not in your house or your yard anymore. So what's the problem?" So it was still a problem for him. So one of the good things about after I moved out was that I can, do whatever I want now. So I mean, there are the atheists that are so atheists that are like, and I love Aaron Ra. I fucking love Aaron Ra. I'll watch him do anything. I don't care.
It's okay. I hung out with him. He's good fucking people.
Yeah, I love him. I mean, but I
want to get him on my channel.
Oh my God, Naka.
I can talk to him for you if you want, Naka.
But
I'm gonna reach out. Me and Aaron have a little bit of history. I'm gonna reach out and see, and if he doesn't respond immediately, I will take you up on that.
He'll do it. He'll do it, man. I'll let him know that you want to talk to him. He'll do it. Like absolutely.
Yeah. We're connected through Matt Powell.
Oh my God.
I'd honestly love to talk to him at some point too, considering how often he gets ancient religion wrong. Like, I don't have any problems with him personally, but some of his videos just oof.
Oh
yeah,
the cupcake
I got in trouble defending him with a couple of my pagan friends. So
I don't have like I said, I don't have a problem with him personally, but I do want to talk to him about the things he gets wrong in some ancient religions, though, because like just an educational chat.
Who, Matt or Aaron Ra?
Aaron Ra. No, Matt Powell. I wanted Matt Powell and I would not have a civil discussion if we ever talked.
Oh no, I'll give me.
Fuck that! I throw the guy in the trunk and drop him off in a river somewhere.
Give me fucking 2 minutes.
He thinks I should be dead.
Yeah, me too.
I do have. Ali has been great and has been sending me all of the super chats in our private chat here. So at the end, I will go through super chats. But I think this one we can just go ahead and ask now. Does Neal think are there parallel dimensions?
I love that question.
Stupid horror energy.
Well, no. It's to me. It just it shows me that people don't really know what dimensions are. If you're speaking of like a parallel universe, okay. First of all, dimensions are like width, length, all that stuff.
Width, length, breadth, time, and then some theoretical physics constructs add additional dimensions.
They believe there's 11 that they potentially could measure. But dimensions aren't the same thing as like a parallel universe. It's something that's else. Like you're talking about another universe that is aligned with ours, but we can't intersect with, but is during the same time as we are. Like where there could be another me that's actually president of fucking Chechnya or something.
But there are theories.
I'm actually playing around with that particular conceptualization, by the way, in my novel series I'm working on at the moment.
That's really cool. But the thing is, mathematically, it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not it's actually a thing we still have yet to discover. So the only answer you can really give, the only intellectually honest answer you could give to something like that is, right now, we don't know.
Yeah.
But they're working on it.
Which is what the answer I give to the God question when I get put. I hate debating, does God exist? You know, like
I have an answer
trolling
for
James. Like James, how many times is modern day debate going to have this debate about does God exist? People were trolling.
So I don't go on that shit, man, because I one thing I say to these people: you tell me how you fucking disprove Zeus or Hathor or Hecate or Boomba or fucking Hanuman the monkey god, and I'll use the same method you use to disprove them to disprove your fucking god.
Yeah, exactly. It's what I say. We can't possibly know. Like,
I mean, philosophically, we can disprove a lot of what's written about the Christian God, though. That's one thing. Quad omni cannot exist.
Historically, we can do the same thing. So.
Yeah, if you're going to use the Bible as a historical text, then we got your ass every single time. You know, but if you're going to use Yahweh in a metaphorical sense of an essence of the universe, and you're going to adapt your philosophical dogmas to interact with what we know now in the modern age, then it's going to be a lot harder to combat your ideology than if, this Bible is 100% accurate, like the NIFB says. That's easy. That's very easy because we can debunk that religion all day long.
It's not hard, man. It's not fucking hard.
Yeah, it's really easy. Like,
biblically, it's not hard. The existence of a deity, that's still up in the air, clearly, because it's something. If something isn't falsifiable, we just don't pay attention to it, because something has to be falsifiable for us to look at it in the naturalistic world. We have to be able to, study it, observe it, etc., etc. But if it doesn't have any of those qualities, then we don't really pay attention to it until something comes along where we should pay attention to it, and then we'll do so.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that we're pretty sure of is he's not right up there on a cloud watching us masturbate. Like, we know that pretty much for certain.
Oh, I'd have given him a show.
So I did want to come a little bit back to the topic, because you were talking about, Naka, you were talking about your family being kind of radicalized by moving to the South. And I was actually curious. I was going to ask IQ if you're seeing something similar happen with your partner, if you're comfortable talking about it, like with her kind of becoming more fundamentalist. Have you noticed changes in personality from the community that she's coming for? Like, if this is too personal, then, if this is too personal, you don't have to answer. But
I mean, there are certain personal aspects that she wouldn't appreciate me, divulging with the entire world. But there's a certain definite aspects of her personality that has had a dramatic change. Well, think of it. What you're allowed to do, or what you allow yourself to be exposed to, changing that changes how you react to the world, because we're products of our environment. And that's what happened to, you said it was your father, Knock, how he was just a hardcore. And then you were gone for a while, and they got to him. If somebody drills something into your head long enough, you're going to start to believe it. The people who are, bullied.
Especially people you trust.
You're stupid. You're ugly. You're ugly. You're ugly. No, and it doesn't really matter if you are or not. You're going to believe it because something keeps getting pounded into your head. That's just repetition. And, advertisers understand this phenomenon. And so does the religious community.
Sex sells, baby.
Hear something enough, you're going to start to believe it. And
well, it's not only that. There have been some interesting studies that have shown that they did this study specifically on fake news, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but again, ADHD, and I didn't want to lose this.
Quite all right.
They did a really interesting study on fake news, and what they found in that study was frequently, given a time span of up to even 3 or 4 days, people would often remember a thing they read or heard, but not where they read or heard it from, and sometimes not whether it was actually fact or from a credible source or not.
Mm-hmm. Common.
So, like, that's a function of the human brain. People, if you hear something repeated, and sometimes even if you just hear or read it or
bias comes in.
at all, then you can lose your track of whether or not that thing is true.
That's where bias comes in, right? We all have our own bias, so we're going to look at websites that are targeted towards our bias. That's why I use a website which can tell you where something leans politically and where, whether it's factual or not. Like you've got all kinds of websites for that. But when you look something up, make sure to check your bias at the door and just go in as like you're a newbie and you want to learn about this, and you'll find out probably the more accurate information that you can find if you go in with that attitude.
Anyway, I wanted to let IQ get back to his point because I wanted to share that, like, as kind of augmenting what he was saying.
He's been on many of my shows. He's used to being hijacked.
I'm used to it, and given my situation, I'm used to being cut off a lot anyway. So, when you community is beautiful, but you don't have community without something to agree upon, because that's what builds the community, is that everybody comes together on something.
Yeah, but how many day-to-day shit do we all we talk about TV shows we talk about beers we like, that kind of shit. That's where that comes in. Fundamentalist type, like your core belief stuff, can be brought out from time to time, but it usually isn't. So
yeah,
people that have like-minded shit with you.
Exclusionary, or does it accept new ideas? Right. That's where we draw the line on this, because community can be very toxic if it's exclusionary, because you are just that. Pretty much the definition of an echo chamber is because you're not willing to branch out. You're not willing to accept new things. Now, there's not a pineapple pizza community, so I'm sure that.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
No, we're not getting into this. I refuse to discuss this as a topic. Okay, it's a half pineapple, half shut the fuck up. Piece pizza, right?
Pineapple does not belong on pizza. I'm just saying.
Here we go.
No. We're going to cut it off. We're not going there, because this is going to go down a path.
We are not falling down that rabbit hole. Mod is God. I'm saying no.
One word. Anchovies.
Ooh.
It is such a trivial thing that there's not really a community based on that. I'm sure you could probably find one, but it's when you get into exclusionary
communities,
you go nowhere if you're not willing to stick your hand out. If you're not willing to open up your ears and your mind to something, your community is just going to be a downward spiral. You're just going to stay in one spot, and it's just everybody kissing each other's ass. So to build a proper community, a really good community, you need to agree upon something. And the biggest thing you need to agree upon is acceptance. If you do not have acceptance, you will be stuck in intellectual park.
Acceptance is great.
Where it is dangerous with toxic communities like the Abrahamic communities, is that they have a model, and you need to fit this model, or you will be forced to fit this model, or you will be shunned.
Well, there's also a certain level of conformity that humans naturally do, even without, and this is just an aspect of psychology, right? Even without the outward overt pressure, there's a certain amount of desire for the human mind to conform, because we are a social species, right? Like, that's part of evolution. We evolved a part of our brain that causes us pain when we have perceived social rejection. And there's been a number of studies that have come out also that show that even if, like, I'm trying to remember what the actual methodology was, but effectively what they saw was, what they did, I think it was 2 lengths of string or something. They were shown 1 length of string by researchers, and there were 2 or 3 other people in the room, or there was a number of different other people in the room, in addition to the research subject, and all those other people were researchers. And so what they found was, what they did for the study was they had the piece of string, they showed it to them, it was a certain length. They then brought out later another piece of string without the original one, and the person had to figure out how close the new piece of string was to the first one that they saw in terms of length. And what they did was they had the researchers that were plants, the subject thought that they were other subjects, they would have them purposefully, disagree Like, they would have them purposefully say the wrong answer when it was extremely obvious that the new piece of string was longer or shorter than the old one that they brought out. And what they found was, for one or two people, like one or two additional people in the room, the subject wouldn't readily agree. But for three or more, the more other people there were in the room that were making the same claim, the more likely the subject would be to deny the evidence of their own senses and their own beliefs and agree with the crowd.
Interesting.
And they found this across a number of different studies with a bunch of different subjects across age groups and other things. So, like, there's this inherent desire to conform.
Yeah, yeah. Especially if you're used to being rejected by your social popular groups, we'll say, and you see the opportunity to become part of one. Yeah, you're going to jump at it. I think it's part of our social programming, I guess you could say, or genetic.
But
stuff.
I mean, this is beyond just what could be explained on an individual psychological level, right? Like, this is, these are people that the person's never met before that they think are just other people who signed up for this study, and they're lining up with them and denying their own senses just because there's so many other people. Like, that explains a lot of
popular choice.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to want to be part of the popular choice or group or whatever, right? I think that's natural with us.
Well, it is, and that's kind of what I'm saying.
Mostly. Yeah, for sure.
And that's where communities like the NIFBs can become so toxic. Which reminds me, we are getting dislike bombed, guys. So if everybody here who's watching, who's logged into their, Google account, can pop over there and give us a like. We had 12 dislikes before the stream even started. If y'all can help us fix that, like, I would absolutely be super appreciative, and I know Naka would too.
It's at 14 now, according to what I can see.
They're all
we had a bunch of people dislike him. Yeah, we had people. Yeah. He pissed off. Like, Hovind did an interview with Powell.
I've made a lot of Christians mad lately.
Yeah, Hovind did an interview with Powell dogging on Naka, and Naka clapped back. So there's nifties are pissed off right now.
They're all from Jill. All the dislikes are from Jill.
Yeah, he has 14 sock accounts. They all just showed up all at the same time.
Well, he's been DJ Joker all night. So
hang on. I'm gonna do this shit. Come and hit the like button.
Richard said he'll come on Naka to be the.
This is the great thing about fundamental stupidity. So they think that when they hit the dislike button that they're hurting me in the algorithm.
But it counts as engagement.
Yeah, they're not. They're helping me. So thank you, evangelical fundies. Thank you.
Well, and we just got a big bump from the request, so thank you so much, guys. Like, that's super appreciative of all your support. Like, this helps bump it up in the algorithm to help Naka grow, too.
I did send a link to John, because John is still up. He might come in. I did send a link also to Richard right before I saw that John said, hey. So, John, I sent you a link on Twitter. So come on in, and then Richard, I'm sorry, but John's a mod, and I invited him, and he wasn't going to be awake, but he's awake. So come on in, John.
So,
hi, John. Sorry, I get a little excited with two people. Can I tell you? Naka, buddy, I just put a tweet out for people here. Hang on, because fuck. Well, you and I have quite a few followers, so it's good to put these links out there.
Oh yeah.
Hang on, let me find it.
I'm getting more followers.
I'm really bad at this. Hang on. Come and hit the like button to show Nakasuchi some love and kick some evangelical butt.
Hell yeah. I make them so mad. I just
that's why I love you, man.
To be fair, I've actually started getting hate mail too. Ever since I did that debate.
Right on. You're doing it right.
Fuck him.
Let Naka. It's his fucking show, and we've been hogging it, you guys. Let him.
Oh no, it's actually Allie's show because I let her run the show when she's here. But no, I was just saying, like, I've exposed Kent Hovind, so I get a lot of hate right now. Like, I think I got 35 emails from Christians today.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, just today. So
I kind of want to say I'm jealous.
They really don't like the last Kent Hovind video, because in the last Kent Hovind video, I show you what a douchebag Kent Hovind is.
Yeah,
his words doing it. So yeah, they don't like
I've
that.
been following this. It's been fucking hilarious. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, it should be somewhere on his channel. Go follow that shit. It's funny as fuck.
And I have to point out, we do have a
There's John.
valuable
Hey, John.
Tony in the chat.
John
Could you
Peterson.
kindly go into the Discord
Hey, welcome,
servers
John.
and put a shout out to people come into this video?
Wait, what? Say that again. We lost you right at the end there. You kind of.
I said, mic issues. I'll be with you in a minute.
All right, John.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
we
John
lost
Peterson.
Inquisitive there at the end too.
All right, John Peterson.
Tony Designs
the
can put
real
a shout out words to hop on this video and give it a thumbs up. That would be most gracious. I know you've already added a link to this video in at least 24 different Discords at this point, because that's just how you roll.
I have a Discord
if you could
too.
put a little shout out in general chats for people to like this video, that would be a big help.
Wait, I can't.
Tony is the man when it comes to Discord. He's like a Discord guru. He is
That guy
everywhere.
there made me a Discord. That guy there. So
Yeah, I'm on your Discord.
are you now?
I created Tony build it with people because he's got connections. He's in many Discords, and he's just kind of a
Tony is the best chill.
Hang on.
oh yeah.
While I'm here on Noka's channel, I'm going to do a little whoring out myself here because I'm going to be actually having Noka on my show. When the fuck are we doing this?
October 28th.
28, 4 p.m. Pacific time. I'm going to have Noka on the show, and you guys really should come and watch that one because it's going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to be giving my deconversion.
Now. Yeah, which I can't, dude, I can't wait for this.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm super excited, and I'm really excited that you're here tonight because I've been like trying to get Neal on for so long, and it's like I'm doing my show, and I'm like, no, you're coming on.
And I keep running. I'm like, dude, I'm too busy. But yeah, no, it's you know, for lack of a better term, I'm going to use something that religious people might use. I feel pretty blessed because there's a lot of really cool people in the community that have given me a shot at doing stuff, and Naka, you're one of them. So yeah, like one of them. I mean, and you're coming on my show, I'm on your show, and this is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Hey, Neal.
Yeah,
I love it. I never had like so many people that I could actually relate to. I mean, and we're talking about community tonight. I didn't have community for a long time. Community is important. Christians kind of warp it and do, and not just Christians, but a lot of religions. But what
You
I
were kind of
generally
floating
see
out
from
there on your own when you were dealing with Matt Powell for the first time too.
Oh yeah. I
wish I was there for you, buddy. I really fucking wish I was there for you.
Oh yeah, I went into it blind, and I learned a lot from that. Like I really learned a lot from that. These internet Christians, especially the really fundamental internet Christians that you come across, they're not Christians. They're charlatans. They're what's his name? Joseph Smith. You know?
The whole thing is charlatanry to me. So.
Yeah. I mean, I've got family that are in the clergy, and I'm like, you guys are fucking cons. But it is what it is.
I can't wait to talk to you, buddy.
Hey, Neal.
Yes, sir.
Are you wearing a feather boa?
A feather boa.
Oh no! Wait, that's your hair. I'm sorry.
If I had a feather boa, I would be wearing it. Just
all right.
I'm going to find a PO box for you and send you a pink feather boa. This is now a thing that is happening.
Okay. I'll just give you my address, and you can send it, and I promise you, I'll wear it.
So I see DJ Joker's in the house again tonight. Has he been being a good? He or she been being a good boy or girl?
No, Jill's been trolling.
Yeah, they've been timed out at least once. Like they fuck up again, they're getting banned.
I had Naki, you were in my chat for the end of my after party. You saw that fuck was his name? This Snake Plissken guy or whatever the hell his name was, going on about all that fucking bullshit.
Oh yeah,
conspiracy theory shit. Oh my goodness, that was hilarious.
Yeah,
Although
I love the trolls.
I know. I kind of felt for him though, because when he posted that one statement where he was talking about his family and stuff like that, and how he was kind of abandoned, and it's like, all right. So if you remember, I said, "Dude, get in touch with me on Twitter. I want to talk to you. We'll talk about this shit." So hopefully, maybe I can get him on the show. And we can air some of this.
That would be
out.
That would be awesome.
Real quick, yes, Maynard Saves. You are on the list of future guests on the Amateur Conversationalist for sure, buddy. And I just wanted to ask, not to, take over or anything like that, but for a minute, I just wanted to ask: has anybody tonight mentioned what's going on with Puffalopagus?
No, John, we haven't gotten to that.
Oh, we haven't.
So yeah, you're perfect. You can go ahead and do that and put it in the side chat. I meant to do that, John, and I forgot.
No, one. You know what? And I feel like an idiot too, because like I mentioned about tomorrow with Faye and as always mentioned about Wednesday nights. I forgot that you were on tonight. I forgot to mention that during the GDC tonight. But Puffalopagus Kyle just lost his father a week ago Thursday.
Yeah,
and it was
funeral
kind of a sudden thing. And I'll put the link in the live chat, and I'm sure Knock will be nice enough to put it in the video description after we're done. But he really needs our help. We talked about it, among in addition to talking about Trump tonight. Puff was there, and it would really help. What's that?
How's Puff doing?
Well, he's doing good, as he can be. We tried to get his mind off it as much as possible, talking about Trump and his idiocy. So, not only would it help if you pop over his GoFundMe and help him out, with what you can. But as I said earlier tonight, it would really help if you share it on social media.
That's the big thing.
Yeah, because if you can go over and give a few dollars, you can multiply your donation exponentially if you just get on social media and share it around. Just please help him out. He really needs our help, and I'll put the link in the live chat.
Awesome. I'm going to grab that link and I'll share it a couple of times. I'll share it tonight and I'll share it again tomorrow afternoon. Because I'm going to do a speaking thing tomorrow at UBC, which is University of British Columbia here, about my channel and what I do there. So I will also make mention of it there and give people directions somewhere they can find that as well.
Apologia did a nice little tribute thing to him at the end of his last episode.
That's cool.
A nice little thing instead of him.
Yeah. So Dems are full of Schiff. Keeps trolling about how there's not a Christian on the panel and blah blah blah. For one, the channel's a raging atheist. It's a raging atheist.
Typical CNN style propaganda.
Yeah, like you.
Well, the funny thing is we had a Christian on the panel, and then we had tech problems, and we haven't had anybody who stepped up other than Richard, who holds very non-standard views.
Yeah, Richard did, and then I noticed John's message, and I'm like, holy shit, John wants to come in. We're gonna bring John in because he's a mod.
Well, was anybody in this panel once a Christian?
Oh, I was.
I was.
Yeah, that's
the have some experience.
No, I was not a Christian. I might be the only one.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Neither was I. I was a Jew.
We were real Christians.
I was the religion before yours. All right. So I know more than you about your own.
Right?
Yeah. I was once a Christian, and then I realized that I liked my fiction a little more believable.
I might have been an agnostic before I became pagan, because I was kind of on the fence about the Christian God, and then a good friend of mine died right after she graduated high school, and then I kept hearing about how that was the plan for her, that God had that planned out. I'm like, she graduated high school 3 days ago and she overdosed on heroin. That was God's plan for her. So I was like, nope, I'm out. Yeah. That was it.
Don't even get me started.
That was it.
And technically, there's one person on this panel that does believe that Yahweh exists. She just thinks that Yahweh is a dick, and that would be Ali.
I went through that phase. I did with those. I was like, "Fuck the Christian God. He's an asshole. If he exists, I want nothing to do with him."
Yeah, my usual line is, I think the Christian God exists. I think most of what's written about him is trash, and I think he's a dick if he does.
We got a no true Scotsman bullshit argument in the chat. That's awesome. I love that one. The no.
Oh yeah, me
Who's
too. That's
doing
like,
that?
Oh, Jill.
Well, they were
is,
never a Christian.
oh,
They were never a Jew either, and I know.
All right,
Who said-
Naka,
who
do you
said
want to
that?
No
list the
such thing
drama
as-
bomb? Do you want to risk the drama bomb that is putting this person on? Because that Dems are full of shit. Apparently, wants to jump into the ring.
I say bring it.
well, we're full now, so
That's the thing.
yeah.
I'll tell you,
Wait a minute.
Dem-
Who said you were never a Christian? Who said that?
It's a
Jill.
But I will
No,
tell.
they're arguing Richard isn't a Christian.
I will tell Dems
I
are
know
full of shit.
preachers that are now atheists. So don't tell me these preachers were not real Christians. I know
And
rabbis that are now atheists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
fuck
by the way,
yourself.
Richard, you're on the list too. Don't worry, we'll get you on, bud.
Well,
Oh,
and
Ri-
I was so Christian
Richard will
growing
be
up,
on
I wanted
Tuesday.
to be a preacher, and I was told that women can't do that. So, like,
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
that's how
another
devoted
thing,
I
too.
was. Like, Bible camps every single summer for a long period of time. Like, I memorized the books of the Bible. I have read the entire thing cover to cover multiple times,
Me too.
including all of the pain of getting through Chronicles. I
Yep.
know theology better than most
The
Christians do.
bagats get me. I'm
Yeah,
like,
Yeah. I will say Dems are full of shit. I have an open channel. Anybody can come and speak to me. You can't just barge your way into a full room. So if you want to come and speak to the Raging Atheist, then you can email me. You can get a hold of me on Discord. You can get a hold of me on Twitter, and we will do this.
Let me-
But I have a feeling
let
that
me come in for this one, please.
yeah,
I
oh yeah. I
know.
mean, it will be fun. It will be fun.
I'm happy to moderate this one.
Hey, Dems are full of shit. Here's the thing, man. Between Nakatsuchi's channel and the GDC, I've probably in the last 2 months done 5 streams on Trump, and every time we try and find a Trump supporter to come on, and there's never any takers. So
Shocking.
I take it by your screen name that you're a Trump supporter, or at least don't like Adam Schiff, but and Democrats. So come on, man, come on, sometime and defend the orange baboon.
You know what? And also Dems, whatever the fuck the rest of your name is. I really hope I have you on my show one day telling me about your deconversion story, because once you see through the bullshit, then you can come on my show and we'll talk.
So the room just got 10 degrees colder in that shade.
Well, fuck him. He's been trolling to how long? We're going what, almost an hour and change, and he's been fucking talking shit the whole fucking time. Fuck
Let's
him.
not feed the trolls any more than we need to. Normally, we do our best to ignore that kind of crap in the chat.
But,
Yeah, it's my fault. I brought it up. I had to, just because I'm like, you want to come talk to me? Come on, bring it.
All right, you know what? Dems are full of shit. If you really want to debate somebody, why don't you come on to Naka's channel and you and I can get into a fight?
Debate
Oh.
me. I'll tell you what, Dems. I'll tell you what. When you can demonstrate that your deity of choice actually exists, because you seem to think that the thousands of others before him don't exist. I'll tell you what, when you can demonstrate to me how you prove that all those other deities don't exist, you can come to me and then I'll debate you, because I'll use the exact same method you used to prove that yours doesn't exist. Okay? So when you're ready to do that, then come and talk to me. Otherwise, I'm on Twitter at 604atheist. I'm always up for discussion. Come on.
Yeah, Neal don't shy away, and neither do I. So it
shit.
is my fault. I did feed the troll there. I'm sorry. I just had to
Okay,
get my ego
I
out there.
have-
Like, I'm big and bad. Come talk to me.
Wait a minute. I
I'm
see.
on your corner. You and I need to do a podcast together, man.
Yeah, oh yeah, that would be great, Neil. That would, yeah, we would have a good thing there, I think.
So stupid whore energy is in the chat. I thought she changed her name.
She did. She
Yeah, she
recently
changed it
changed it
back.
back. And she also has a Twitter now. I followed her on Twitter today. It was awesome.
Apparently the no true Scotsman fallacy can't apply to Christianity. For some reason, it's got special pleading privileges, I guess.
No true Christian, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, can we get an actual definition for Christianity? Because last I checked, Christianity just means you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, and any definition beyond that puts you in a denomination.
Yeah, exactly. The no true Scotsman fallacy is acceptable for anything.
Wait a second. Hey, Dems are full of shit. Since you say we have no clue what the no true Scotsman fallacy is, would you please post in live chat what it is? Why don't you educate us?
Can he?
Do we really want to engage the chat though? Like, this guy's going to take forever to type anything. We're going to have to sit here like boring our audience with dead air.
Well, not only that, Allie, but it'll take him a few minutes probably to look it up on Google, anyways.
Oh, I'm being called the appeal to Christian pride fallacy. They're saying I'm using the appeal.
All right. Apparently, Dems are full of shit doesn't actually have ears that can hear, because like he didn't hear me say that I've read the Bible cover to cover, and he apparently didn't hear Neal or Naka echo that either.
I've read every book that there is.
Reading the Bible and looking up True Scotsman. The True Scotsman fallacy has nothing to do with the Bible,
including this one, the Rancha book. Okay? Which is pretty much the Bible meets Star Trek. Okay, that's how ridiculous shit's getting these days.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out. So DJ Joker isn't in the house. So
Dems are full of shit is Jill apparently.
Yeah, we are arguing with Jill again. And Jill, this is what Jill does. Jill is such a good troll. Jill, I commend you, sir. I commend you.
Well, congratulations. Now that we've officially determined who that is, guess what? You broke the rules again, buddy.
Yeah, banned.
Marty was saying something. Go ahead, Marty.
Oh, Jill won't come into the chat. He won't come into the chat even if there's empty space, because there's two women in the chat and he doesn't acknowledge women.
Oh yeah, Jill is bitch made. Like he never showed up for my stream.
He will never.
Look, and as a matter of fact, the last time he was in chat during Knox stream, and I forgot to mention this, I don't know if Knox saw it. Yes. He actually put in the live stream, "Hey Knock, get a male mod," and I'll mod.
Yeah, he doesn't. He won't.
Oh, John, did you see me go after his ass for that shit?
Hang on.
I didn't see. I saw him post it, but I didn't see the response to it.
Oh no, I ripped his ass about beta theory because he called you a beta cuck.
Hang on, a friend of mine that I haven't heard from for a little while, so I want to know if he's okay or if they're okay. She.
Yeah, she came out.
That's right. My apologies. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, she had some emotional stuff that happened, but she's back in the community now. She just took some time off of YouTube.
Excellent. Okay, excellent. And now that you're identifying as she, I'm really happy because she was on my show a little while ago, way back. So one of the first few interviews I had.
She is a very good friend of the channel.
Yeah.
She's awesome. I just have to get used to that now. That's all.
Oh yeah. I did too, because I've known her for so long. It took me a while, and now it's just like natural. It comes out.
Oh yeah, 2 or 3 times that I'm in. It's when changes like that happen, you got to give me a couple minutes of adjustment time. That's all it is.
Yeah, and I actually invited her on tonight, and she's not quite ready to do that again, and. I just want to just let her know, she's always a friend of this channel. I would have never learned what I learned about the NIFB had it not been for her. So, she knows how important she is.
Gold with that. She was one of the more active people in the group because I was part of the NIFB takedown group. So, and she was on the ball all the time, coming back with more and more shit for us to put out there.
Yeah.
To take these bastards down.
She's a great researcher. She's a great researcher.
Absolutely.
So this actually gives us the entire thing with the No True Scotsman actually gives us a fairly decent in to come back to the original topic, if you guys are interested in that. Talking about the No True Scotsman and the way that communities will build themselves into echo chambers, and once united communities will sort of like factionalize themselves. Do you guys want to talk about that a little bit? Because that's something that we see in the Christian community quite a bit, and we're also starting to see it a little bit in the atheist community here on YouTube.
And in the pagan, there's a pagan. There's a no true pagan does this, or no true pagan does that, or no true witch does this. Go fuck yourself.
No. Paganism has branches more than any tree that I know.
Yeah, so that doesn't. I mean, come
That's
on.
because define pagan. Like it basically means non-Christian religion that includes multiple gods, and sometimes not even that.
Not even, yeah. They might just believe in the green man, or or whatever. I mean, it's really about your
not
belief.
Christian.
Yeah, well, there's that. But I have something that I need to address here in the chat here.
Real quick, while you're looking for that,
I found it.
No true Scotsman or appeal to purity is an informal fallacy in which one attempts to protect a universal generalization from counterexamples by changing the definition in an ad hoc fashion to exclude the counterexample.
I fucking love that description.
And I mean, it's kind of in a loose way. You can relate it to special pleading as well, because you're saying that, well, here's my definition of A, but these things that fall under that definition are not included because of B. It's like adding qualifications that aren't in the definition. Yeah.
I totally agree with you. And Richard Madsen asked me a question at Neal the 64 Atheist. What if Christians, I'm assuming Christians, took it actually literal and believed there was only one God just by many different names and descriptions by social ideals? No, why your God argument? Well, I have an answer for that. I don't care what you want to identify as a deity. You have to demonstrate to me, at least being a scientist, you have to demonstrate to me that this deity exists in any form or fashion before I can even start to consider questions like that. So if you can't do that, I don't care. All right.
Well, I have a pagan response.
Oh, absolutely. But just let me quickly finish. Once you have given me something that I can actually sink my teeth into, and I can observe it and falsify it and all that other scientific mumbo jumbo, then we can talk, and we can. I'm always willing to see evidence if it is something that I can tangibly use, because I do work in the lab. I'm a chemist by my trade. I work for an environmental company, and I'm an analytical chemist, so I know how to deal with stuff like this. And I also have tangents and other aspects of science as well. But anyways, if you can demonstrate to me that that's a thing, then we can talk. But until such time, I don't pay any attention to the whole God issue until it's demonstrated that at least one of the hundreds of thousands that have been proposed exists. For me. Go ahead, Alika.
Yeah. I think I'm along the same lines. I can't say that there's not, and I can't say that there is. I just haven't found...
I'm not convinced, and I don't care.
Yeah, I haven't found like fucking evidence. If we had the technology to measure these things, and it was presented to me, I'm like, hell yeah, all right, now I can get behind that. I just don't have that evidence personally.
Right. Yep. Me either.
Well, and of course, if someone's personal experiences, if that can, justify or rationalize their belief to them, that's all well and good. But if you don't have anything, if you don't have anything beyond that, then you can't really, change a belief in somebody else. You
John,
can't cause them to have a justification.
And that's why I did have that one stream about personal beliefs, and I would like to have another one because I do think that personal beliefs are a definite variable in this conversation.
Personal experiences, Naka.
Well, personal experience. Like it's a definite variable in this conversation because I don't want to dismiss your personal experience. My personal experience led me to where I'm at. So, and I've had personal experiences that
Good way to put it, by the way.
Explain away. You know, so I think it is a viable part of the conversation, but it is a personal part of that conversation, and it doesn't really have an effect on the overall conversation when you're relating to other people that haven't shared those personal experiences. So I think that a lot of atheists get into trouble when they deny that these personal experiences do have relevance to the conversation, and then the person given the personal experiences also runs into trouble expecting the other person to believe that personal experience when we didn't live it ourselves.
Well, and the other thing is it brings it back to the no true Scotsman fallacy, because I think for some Christians who have had personal experiences that convince them that God does exist, and then when they turn around and they say to someone like you or I or I think Allie said she used to be a Christian too. Well, you were never a true Christian. I mean, I think that they believe that because, well, I had this personal, experience, and I experienced, my deity, and you didn't, so you must not have been a true Christian.
Yeah, and the whole thing about a true Christian, like, right? So, like, I openly admit, I'll turn my camera on for this and look at the camera. I openly admit that I wasn't a true Christian by like your, jolly gee goody white boy fucking bullshit fantasy of what a true Christian is. I did a lot of shit that wasn't very Christian. Like we talked, we spoke in vulgarly. We used curse words, and
I like curse words.
Yeah, like my uncle was giving me beer when I was like 6 years old, and I was smoking at a very young age. You know what I'm saying? Like, so but I believed, right? I believed in Jesus Christ wholeheartedly. And if that doesn't make you a fucking Christian, I don't know what does.
I'm pretty sure that's like the definition of being a Christian, isn't it?
That's the definition we laid out earlier. But I did want to really quickly, there's somebody in the chat who's calling for me to give my response to Richard's question. And that is, there is a term in the pagan community for someone who believes that there is either one God or one force that humans are interpreting as God, and that God is actually all of the other gods, and that humans are just interpreting them through cultural context. And that person would not be described as a Christian. They'd be described as a soft polytheist. That's the term in polytheism. It is derived from Wiccans who believe, certain branch of Wiccans anyway, who believe that all of the gods that ever existed are branches of one archetypal male god, and all of the goddesses that have ever existed are branches of one archetypal female god. Well, and that's kind of where the term came from.
Female gods came first before any male gods.
Well, yeah, in terms of what we understand of like the way religion developed, yes. But what I'm saying is that term for soft polytheism, like, or in general, came from that idea.
And by my understanding, animal gods came before female gods, right?
Or at the very least, animism.
Yes, that's where I was going. Yeah.
Because animism encompasses the belief that inanimate things can have souls. So the wind has a soul, the river has a soul, the rock has a soul.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was thoroughly educated on that because I put my foot in my mouth.
well, look, I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and I'm here to tell you, rock does have a soul.
Oh gosh, I put this on Twitter the other night. So we're at work and I'm surrounded by these young people, and the Doors is jamming on the radio, and we're cleaning up.
So guys, we just had a truth revealed to us. Naka does not consider himself a young person.
No, I don't.
Stop saying you're old, Nakasuchi, because I'm
getting old.
Older than you, and if you're old, that means I'm old.
I'm getting old. But this young woman,
53 in less than 2 weeks.
I mean, and it's like classic Doors. It's like it's Light My Fire, and she looks at me with the most serious expression on her face, and she's like, "What the fuck are we listening to?" And I'm just like, "What?" like it's the fucking Doors, man.
I don't know you. I don't know you. Get out of my house.
How did you like my reply to that, Knock?
Oh, dude, it was brilliant.
I replied to him with I composed this tweet that was made up almost entirely of Doors songs.
Sweet.
The title of the Doors song.
I'm like, we're losing America now. We're losing America.
Yeah. Also, Richard Madsen in the chat. I know I typed a response to you earlier. He considers me reasonable, I guess, because I'm always open-minded. If you can demonstrate that something is real, I'll at least consider it. Whether or not I'll believe or worship or whatever the case might be with whatever the information is, then that's to be we'll see. But yeah, no, you want me to believe in something. You tell me that you have some truths for me. Demonstrate to me that they're even real before I believe in it. Like it's all about showing me that this is actually real before I actually am going to invest any intellectual capacity or emotional capacity to it at all.
Well, and you said something interesting there, whether I would worship it or not. And I've heard Knox say this too, and I've said this for a while. If you could show me tomorrow unequivocally that the God of the Bible existed, well, then I would not be an atheist anymore, but I sure as hell wouldn't worship that horrible, heinous, immoral son of a bitch. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, just because you demonstrate that you're a piece of shit God exists doesn't mean I'm going to worship a said piece of shit God.
Well, and on top of that, can I bring something up? Because this is a very pagan way to think, but it is a problem I have with Christianity.
Oh, go for it, please.
So,
can I make a quick note? I have to tell Noka about something.
As long as it's actually quick, because you guys
totally quick, totally quick. I just got a new subscriber announcement by somebody called Jesus is Lord. Thanks.
Oh God!
Oh,
Wow!
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Let the trolling ensue.
But
I can't wait.
You're a guy,
You
and
got yourself.
yeah.
At least he'll actually talk to you. You have an XY chromosome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, it's been a beneficial thing for me for a long time. That's why they consider people like me to be privileged. But
I'm so sorry for your life.
I try to share that privilege with whoever I can, just so you know.
So, coming back to paganism. So, Ocean mentioned this in one of his videos, but he mentioned it off the back of a conversation that he and I had. Christianity really confuses me. Because, in most of the pagan religions throughout all of history, right, there was a particular praxis that meant worship. There were specific things you did to worship the gods. And generally, there's this idea of reciprocity. You give out of love, and things are given in return. But, Christians, when they, quote-unquote, worship, the closest to actual worship I've ever seen a Christian do is, singing. And saying awesome things about God, or maybe, I don't know, reading the Bible, does that count as worship? They hammer their God with prayers and begging for shit constantly. Teach me how to serve you, do this, do that for me. There's no reciprocity there. They don't... How does worship work in Christianity?
It's the same way it works in paganism. It's all personal. They consider them to be personal relationships with the Lord, with the God.
But with paganism, there's specific ways.
Yeah, but they do it their own way. Well, sure, but do we really adhere to the classics? I mean, I never did. I just did whatever I felt worked for me at the time. I may have been in whatever mood, and something that seemed like it would work for me at that time, I would do. And that's
is worship is worship the same personal. As magic?
No, well,
I don't know. Maybe it's personal. It's a relationship that you have with whatever deity you are appeasing or with or whatever.
Well, I mean, maybe this is a Reconstructionist thing because, in Reconstructionist faiths, we have a very specific praxis that we adhere to that is traditional. So, to us, Christianity looks weird as fuck because there isn't any actual worship going on. There is no reciprocity, really. What do they actually do to worship?
I kind of agree with you there, Allie, a little bit. Because one of the things that drew me into particularly witchcraft was active participation. I would cast Light Circle and call upon X, Y, and Z, and I was actively putting energy in, and I would get active energy or active whatever back. The very few times I went to church, I would put the active energy into, whatever to try. Because I was trying. I was really trying to be a Christian. I was trying to read the Bible. I prayed. I really did. What I missed?
No, I'm not going to just put something in there. And I was trying to be subtle and let you carry on and say that's a good question, actually.
Oh,
But wait,
Yeah, I really like that question.
Don't Christians worship when they eat crackers and drink grape juice on Sunday?
Well, let's let Marty finish first before we get into
So I was really trying to be a Christian. I was trying to, I prayed the prayer. I'm a sinner and blah blah blah, which is a whole nother can of worms. But I didn't get anything back. Like I didn't feel a sense of like peace or learning or any of that when I was trying to be a Christian. When I was looking for Christianity, because I was looking and I didn't get it. But I do agree with Neal when you say it's a personal thing. Like maybe it spoke to somebody, and that's. But I do wonder when they're like, "Oh, I worship," and how? Aside from like telling God how great He is all the time and all this glory you're giving God up to God's glory, well, what do you do? Like, what do you do in order to give glory to God? Like, how do you send glory up? Like, I don't like.
I don't know.
So like with
They
my
think
gods,
really hard.
it's a very simple like answer, right? I burn incense frequently as offerings. I say prayers. I do daily rituals. Like that is the structure of Reconstructionist Hellenism. That's what you do to honor your gods. Like for heathens, the answer is very similar. For a number of Reconstructionist faiths, the answer is very similar. But like I don't understand what Christians actually do that could be considered worship.
Yeah,
Richard, sorry, Marty. Let me answer Richard.
Oh, yeah,
Richard asked if they could use my Discord. Yes, absolutely. I think Tony dropped a link to my Discord. Feel free to join if you want. We'll talk.
Richard is a good
great.
dude. He's got some different beliefs. Like I have Richard on occasionally one-on-one, just because to really delve into the things he thinks, because they're not your conventional Christian beliefs.
I like that.
In the least bit.
As far as what Christians could do, maybe they, would get their God's attention if they, I don't know, maybe owned a slave or two, or drowned some babies, or or took a sword and cut some pregnant women's bellies open, something like that.
Yeah.
And before we end tonight, Ali has been great. I have like all the super chats, so we will go through and read all the super chats.
Good job, Alia.
Yeah, Ali. I mean, like shit. She's been noticing them before me. So, she's been doing really good with this.
Hey, this was the idea that I proposed last time when you were flustered about the super chats. I'm like, you know what? Anything that I don't see you immediately respond to, I'm just going to put it in the private chat.
Yeah,
it kind of sucks that in StreamYard they have the chat, which is great, but then they don't make the super chats like a different color the way it is on YouTube.
It sucks.
Yeah. Before we end it too, I just want to say to Richard, man, I'm always open for discussion. Discussion is, reasoned discourse is always encouraged. Okay. So I'm always down to talk with you, whatever. And just so you know, beliefs aside, I'll always give people the benefit of the doubt. I think you're probably a decent human being otherwise. So you and I can sit down and have a shoot the shit and whenever you want. And maybe, hopefully someday I'll be able to tell your deconversion story on my show.
Well, and I wanted to answer Maynard Saves' question
Marty.
really quick.
Huh?
I wanted to answer Maynard Saves' question really quick. I don't feel like I need to explain empirical evidence for my gods because I'm not trying to convince you to believe in them.
Yes.
So I have my personal experience as evidence for my own belief, but I will never try to convince anybody else to believe in my gods or to practice the way that I do unless they specifically come to me and say, I want to learn how to worship your gods the way that you do. I'm like, pagan religion generally doesn't proselytize, just as a rule. So, like, I don't feel the need to try to find or prove that sort of evidence to you. Unlike Christianity, our religion doesn't have proselytization as its base. So I have my own personal experiences and I can share those, but I don't expect you to be convinced by them any more than, I will believe you've had an experience with a god, but your experience with a god will not make me worship that god.
Yeah, and there are pagans that can. I mean, there is some historical evidence anyway that can be broken down to make you go, it's happened to me. So I'm the pagan question. My question always has been to Christians is, if you're going to believe in a God, why wouldn't you believe a God closer to the source, closer to the origins of man? Why believe such a late incarnation? I don't believe in any God, and Ali knows this. All the pagans I associate knows that I'm an atheist. Ocean looks
Our
at
general response to you is good for you.
Yeah. Ocean looks at me and he's like, "Yeah, dude, you're an angry atheist." So
so your channel's aptly named. Is that what you're saying?
And they're still cool with me. Guess who's not very cool with me? Most Christians. I mean, usually you have to be somewhat of a different kind of Christian to be like, "Yeah, Naka's pretty cool." Most Christians aren't like Naka's pretty cool. Most Christians are like Naka's going to hell because that's what Christians do, right? Pagans don't do that.
Well, and I think
they hit you with empty threats.
And I think that part of that, like we talked about this on SNS, but part of that again comes down to the fact that most pagan afterlives don't depend on, like, you believed in our gods, so you're going to end up in this afterlife. Like when you talk about pagan beliefs on the afterlife, in heathenry, how you die determines where you go. In Hellenism, like your virtue, and there was a lot of different definitions for virtue depending on the philosophical school that you followed back in the day, but your virtue, not your God belief, but your actual behavior towards other human beings determines where you end up. So, like, for us, we don't have anything invested in you worshiping our gods or not, because why should we care? Our relationship with them is ours, and, like, if you want one, then go for it. If you don't, then good for you.
And my whole thing is, like, I don't believe in an afterlife. I'm an atheist. I think that when we die, we fucking die, and it's
do you remember before you were born?
Exactly. Like I think we become non-existent again. But I hope. I mean, who doesn't, right? Who doesn't want to see their loved ones?
Dude, we do live on, but we live on through our genetic links. We live on through our stories, the stuff that when you're here, this isn't a fucking dress rehearsal for some afterlife bullshit. This is right now. You have the opportunity to tell your story, and you're damn lucky to be here, considering the chaos in the universe. So tell your fucking story, make sure it's memorable, and leave a legacy that people will be talking about for years, and that's how you live on.
Exactly. I've often said, like, if you want to be immortal, study William Shakespeare.
Anyway, yeah, for sure. Are we coming to a close? Is the party over, or what's going on?
Yeah, we're getting close to closing time, I do believe.
So do you guys have any sort of final thoughts on Christian community, on the wider atheist and polytheist communities? John, would you like to toss in some of your thoughts? Since you were kind of a latecomer, you missed a bit of the discussion early on about the toxicity of the Christian community. Do you have any thoughts that you would like to add, since you were so late coming in?
Well, I would like to say that there is a certain toxicity in the Christian community because of the fact that there are certain Christians that are toxic. I don't know as I necessarily want to say that the entirety of Christianity is toxic, because there's a lot of good people that believe for a variety of reasons, and that who, while they identify as Christian, don't necessarily buy into all the dogma and all the bad side of it. Okay, and not only that, but as I've said many times, the only place I encounter atheists is online. Everybody else in the real world that I'm around are all people that believe in God. So if I speak pejoratively of them, as a group, that's a logical fallacy of sweeping generalization, and then I'm also bad mouthing people whom I like and love. So.
Well, I
But
think we were talking a lot about like the aspects of the way that community can be used to both mold and shape people, but also the way that it can make it difficult if you stop believing to leave. So not attacking individuals per se, but talking about the way that the community can affect people.
Well, yeah, I
you're
mean,
gonna have a million different experiences.
Well, we've seen that in this chat tonight. A few of the trolls, well, you weren't really ever a Christian, and things of that nature, or oh, you just you stopped believing because you hate God, or
you just want to sin.
You had a bad experience.
That's my favorite.
Yeah,
You hate God because you just want to sin. Sin
Hold
is
on,
a thing to pagans.
I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
Well, and then look at like the Mormon community. I mean, people that become apostates in the Mormon community are ostracized and harassed and harangued, and that's a sect of Christianity. So I mean, but there are Christians out there too that kind of have the outlook that like what Allie was talking about, where they don't necessarily proselytize, they don't necessarily judge people who decide to leave the faith, and I wish more of them were like that. And I mean, something else I've said is, you talk about there's 2.4 billion Christians on the planet. And fortunately for mankind, despite what they claim, the vast majority of those Christians do not get their morality from the Bible, because if they did, the world would be a hellscape on a daily basis, so.
Yeah, it's like I said in my last video. Like, I don't think, like, even most Christians that say they would be down for like biblical law here in America, it's because they don't understand what biblical law is. They don't understand how terrible it would be.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to what Allie asked, I mean, there's certainly segments of, Christianity that, if you're a non-believer, if you're a former believer that became a non-believer, you're just garbage in their eyes, and they're not afraid to tell you it. And interestingly, it's even worse in the Muslim community. Tomorrow on Knox channel at noon, he's going to have Faye the Most Gracious on, who's an active ex-Muslim activist, and among other talents that she has. But I've been engaged on Twitter with some of the Muslims that go after her and other ex-Muslims, and atheists can talk about being persecuted by Christians, but I got to tell you, it's nothing compared to what ex-Muslims go through. I mean, there are several countries in the world where if you are found to be an atheist, you can be killed, and not just by fundamentalist Muslims, but there are actual countries where it is the law that atheists can be put to death. So.
It's like that in Bangladesh too. I have a friend over in Bangladesh who's trying to make it over here because he's an atheist, and he's like rich enough that his family has servants, but like he's terrified that if he gets found out, he'll be put to death.
Mm-hmm. I've interviewed people like that.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk to Faye. Faye is Bay.
I've got her too. I've got her booked for. Hang on, I think it's the 28th. Well, my phone just went totally squirrely.
And Neal, who was it who put you on that? Huh?
To Faye?
Yeah.
Wasn't it you?
Yeah. That's us.
Was that just a trick question? What the fuck?
You're trying to trap Neal all late at night and shit.
Apparently, it was for you.
No, she was totally excited when I told her I wanted to have her on. She's like, "Oh yeah, I've seen a couple of your episodes." And yeah,
that's why I chose October 28th, Neal, is because it was right after Faye.
Nice. Really? Is that why?
Yeah, that's exactly why. Yeah.
Awesome. And Marty, we got to talk, and Eliakai, we got to talk. Because I've had multiple polytheists on, being one or used to be one myself. I have a soft spot in my heart for.
Hey Neal. Hey Neal.
Hey, we met on
Neal,
your after show with Wolf.
Hey,
Yeah,
Neal.
yeah. Recently had Wolf, who's a friend of the channel, on.
Hey
Yeah,
Neal.
sure.
Neal.
Yeah.
Neal. Repeat after me. Okay.
Okay.
Eliakai.
Eliakai.
Thank you, John.
Eliakai.
Eliakai, yes, that's how you
Ali.
pronounce my name.
Ali for short.
Eliakai. Or just say Ali.
Sure, but didn't I get it right like from day one, and you were like surprised?
It
And
was,
now
yeah, because you said it Eliakai, and now you're doing it wrong.
Oh, okay. Now I get it.
I
Fuck
still
no.
say it wrong sometimes.
Gives him and what we're used to dealing with him. So I mean, we have to give him a little slack here.
Oh no, dude, Neal and I are cool. Like we
Oh, yeah,
had so much fucking fun that night. Like
you came on to my after party.
yeah, we just like chilled and bonded over like height shit and cracking jokes and
Yeah.
poking fun at each other and Ocean. And
But-
IQ, didn't you actually give up your spot for Ocean that night? Like I was super grateful for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, Neal had Pagans in his after party, and not only will I side for Ocean just because it's fucking Ocean, and when Ocean wants to come in, fuck it, here you go, buddy. Have the
Ocean's
seat.
my brother, man.
He had him in there because that night he was having an after party for having a pagan on his show, and then he's got to step aside to let one of his friends, his good friends, also
Yeah,
happens to be a step in to be in the after show with him. It just seemed like the right thing to do. So
And you were slacking in your duties in the chat.
Yeah, dude, there's such a flood of blue on your channel, Neal. God's damn, like nobody could ever break your freaking rules, whatever they are.
Yeah.
There are too many mods.
You should have watched earlier because Neal totally admitted to being a wrench whore and gave just like a brand new person a wrench. Like, oh, you're here now.
He
Here's
gave me a wrench like the day we met.
Like over you get a wrench, and you get a wrench.
Hey, look, if you wanna see
Santy the past few weeks, and he's been engaging and talking, and he's showed himself. It's not like hey, first time I've seen you in this chat, boom, here's a wrench. No, I've seen him for the past few streams, and he engages, and it's been pretty cool. So I had to suggest that, especially when Neal's talking about throwing wrenches here and here and here. Oh, you get a wrench off the wrench whore, and there's just one guy that didn't get a wrench, and he's sitting there like,
I didn't get a
what is
wrench.
wrong with me? Like,
Hey, here's the thing. Even though
Not you.
even though Neal may be a little liberal with the wrenches, there's another person who's even more liberal. Next time Sock account puts out a live stream, go over to his channel. He gives everybody a wrench. There's nobody that isn't blue in his live chat.
I think one of the last times I was in one of Saga's live streams, I think I might have had a wrench. And I wasn't even in there long. I was like, oh, cool, I have a wrench.
Yeah, because as soon as he sees somebody new that doesn't have a wrench, boom, you got a wrench. Because he figures that's an even playing field. Nobody can time anybody out. It's all everything's even.
Yeah, that's what stock is all about, man.
Maybe that's why we do it subconsciously. You're not allowed to time each other out. Everyone gets free speech, beer.
So, in terms of I guess since we're kind of doing a wrap up, Marty and IQ, do you guys have any final thoughts on the topic that you'd like to share before we start chilling ourselves out?
Well, I do want to read all the super chats that you put
Oh,
in.
dude, you have to do that. You have to do that.
So do we want to do final thoughts and then Naka, you'll do super chats and then we'll chill and close up?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Quick. I'm AR. It's good to see you back. Just want to say that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not sure that Shay just realized how many people reached out to me,
Dude, a bunch of people
I don't
reached
think
out
she
to
knows
me, a
just how
bunch of
much she's
people.
loved. fucking loved in this community.
Dude, I'm gonna give Tony some credit. Tony, like, got fucking organized and got a hold of everybody. Like, all the mods, everyone that might have been close to her, and was like, is she okay?
Yeah.
Find a
If
new-
it wasn't for Tony, we wouldn't have known until Shay came back. I like to think that I was one of the first places that she came back to. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, Tony needs all the accolades for that for sure.
Hey, before we
Tony does good stuff.
Can I
He does
just
good things.
answer Purple Rhymes with Warren's question?
Oh yeah, please. Purple rhymes with orange. I love that guy.
Oh, why you're a horse?
Well, I am a horse, and I don't even have this picture anymore. It's on my YouTube personal channel avatar. The reason I'm a horse is because I was taking a walk one day, and I was about a mile away from my house, and I was walking by this fence line, and this horse walked right up to me. It was in the guy's yard. And then
You got naked?
I pulled my camera out to take a picture of this horse, or pulled my phone out to take a picture of this horse. And this horse actually posed like it had done it a million times before. And I needed a picture for my YouTube, my personal channel, not the Amateur Conversationalist. And I put that picture up, and just it stuck. Everybody was calling me horse guy, and so now my avatar is a horse. And also I'm a horse because I don't want to subject the general public to my appearance and chase people away from the stream.
Dude, just be yourself. We'll love you no matter what.
Yeah, and I always say my avatar is better. My avatar of you is better than yours.
Right. I love the one you put in the thumbnails with the braying ass with its mouth wide open.
Yeah.
The other thing is to just, even though we're not in the adultish chat right now, the horse is also an homage to one of my body parts.
Ah.
You got big ass ears.
That's what I was doing when you first started. I was like,
No, I think you're referring to your.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about my nose.
man.
Oh, who am I kidding? I never get monetized.
Them some muscular thighs there, bro.
That's what I keep saying too. Yeah, so much for monetization. Thanks to Duke Bonanza and.
All right, guys, you heard it here. John can gallop.
I can gish gallop.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Richard Madsen, I just followed you on Twitter, so there you go.
Yeah, Richard Madsen will be on Tuesday night. I think I invited both you and John, Allie. I
want to come back too.
Yeah, I want you back as much whenever you can show up.
I should be able to make it for Tuesday night, but I won't be able to make it tomorrow because it's too early in the morning.
Yeah, I know you can't show up tomorrow. Tuesday night is like 9 o'clock, I think, and then super late either Tuesday or Wednesday night. That Christian blogger is coming on the channel again.
What?
So
Awesome.
So, guys, we
What's
are
the
getting
Wednesday
pretty
that's
close.
going to be two? Well, hold on. I'm sorry. So Wednesday night there'll be 2 streams.
Maybe. He hasn't gotten back to me on what day, but it's going to be like super late. Like I'm going to be like taking a nap and then waking up and talking to that Christian blogger. It's going to start at like 1 o'clock at night.
Oh wow!
Can we do some chilling now?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to do the super chats really quick, and then we'll start shilling, and then we'll get out of here. 'Cause it's 2 in the morning.
I didn't get to give Marty and IQ a chance to wrap up with any final thoughts on the topic if they wanted to, because we kind of ran off again.
Yeah. So we'll let them do that. I'm going to go pee.
I already did. You're free to go. I'll hold the fort.
Your bladder is going to be the perpetual joke between us, Neal, because of how long our conversation lasted after the show.
I just went into the washroom and I said to my roommate on the way back, and I think I just reenacted part of Austin Powers.
All right. So, Marty, do you have any final thoughts on the topic that you'd like to share before we start chilling ourselves?
It's there seems to be this weird thing in any community, no matter what sort of community you are, where everybody loves to eat their own. It's true, and if there's, you get so much infighting in any kind of community. No, all the Christians say, well, no true Christians does this, and all the, there are all the witches that say, well, no true witch does this. Who gives a fuck? Do what you do. Don't be an asshole. It really shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that difficult. But it's there's this thing of we just love to eat their own, and I don't know why, but I try to stay out of bullshit like that. So that's my final thought.
Yep, right there with you.
IQ, do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to share?
He might be
Sure.
sleeping. Oh, okay.
Nope, not sleeping. Not Badger isn't in the stream.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's Badger's territory.
Look, community can be the best thing for somebody.
Yep.
And community can also tear us apart, which is true situational irony. But when you fail to stop treating somebody like a human being and you start treating them like an idea, you have really lost your humanism. Humanism is the glue, it's the binding agent that keeps us from pushing each other apart. And we really need to hold on to treating people like human fucking beings instead of just as an idea that needs to be pushed away. Yes, we need to speak up about what's toxic in our world and what's actually going to be doing people harm. And we need to pull this sheep's clothing off of things that are actually wolves and are actually toxic. But when you have community, you need to be able to accept people. And when it comes to your personal experiences, everybody has their own experiences and their own interpretation of the universe. But in my personal experience, that has happened to involve a disturbing amount of LSD, that I cannot trust that my senses are always going to be coherent with reality. And I cannot say that because I saw this or I saw this or I heard that or this happened and this happened, that's actually reality. And that is why I can't be convinced, because of personal experience, at least through myself, that there is something else out there. But my logic tells me that that also can't convince me that there's not. So I follow the community that accepts people for fucking people. And let's leave the shit at the door. Actually talk to somebody. Find out what you can come to a common ground with. And just, like Ben said, don't be a dick. Just be a human being.
Hey, real quick, just to dovetail on something you said there is, he said there is a good aspect, a good side to the community. And picking up on that thought, just want to, before we start wrapping things up here, to say once again, if you can, please help Puffalopagus. He lost his father last week, and he's having a tough time paying for the funeral. I'll put the GoFundMe link in the live chat again, and you'll be able to find it in the description once this post is a video. And just please, go check that out and help out if you can, and please share the link on social media.
Yeah, I'm so glad, John, that you came on, because I was totally forgetting that, and I'd have felt like shit tomorrow. So I'm glad that you were awake and you came on and you did that. I'm sorry, Puff.
Thanks, John. Yeah, it's important. It's really important.
All right, so Knox said he was going to do super chats, and then we're going to proceed to the part where everybody chills themselves out and talks about their channels.
All right, and huge supporter of the show, Stupid Horror Energy, is going to have a lot of these. So, Stupid Horror Energy, $2. Our love potion is real, and that's towards you, Marty, because it came at the very beginning when you were talking about your witchcraft.
Are love potions real? I don't know. I've never made a love potion because I have a firm, belief of not messing with stuff that can mess with someone's free will. So whenever anybody asks about love potions and love spells and shit, I say, well, if you want to try to attract somebody, do something that would increase your own confidence in yourself, and do something that would increase your own energy and attractiveness, and then go out and maybe you meet somebody instead of casting something on somebody else. That's just me. So I don't know.
We so have to talk, Marty.
Okay, I'll put my email in the side chat over here. If you can.
Yeah, I totally started doing my streams earlier, and it interjected with Marty's work schedule, so she hasn't been on in quite a while. And I'm like, Marty, I'm having a late stream. You're coming on tonight.
That's my email, Neal, if you can see it.
I don't see it anywhere.
Scroll to the bottom of the private chat on the right-hand side.
Private chat on the right.
Oh, private chat. I'm in the wrong chat.
It took me a while to figure that shit out too, Neal.
No, I immediately switched it over because it was on the private chat when I got here, and I switched it over to the live chat just so I could pay attention to what was going on in the live chat. But yeah, okay, Marty, I got it now. I got it copied. I'll stick it in my email, and we'll. Are you on Twitter?
No, I hate Twitter.
Oh,
yeah, it makes sense.
And
Are you
Twitter
on
hates
Facebook?
you.
I am on Facebook.
She
Yeah.
is on Facebook.
Okay.
That's how we
I'm
go.
on Facebook. I'm on Facebook to look up Neal Bernstein, Bernstein.
Okay.
And I'm there. It has my branding logo and everything on it, so you
Okay.
won't miss it. We'll talk. I'd love to have you on the show. I'd love to
Sure.
talk with you for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
totally. I'll go on, sure. But
Yeah,
yeah,
awesome.
that's the answer. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
I think that alcohol can be considered a love potion.
Sure. Yeah, then sure.
Yeah, the goggles, right? You put
Yeah.
on the beer goggles.
Yeah. Then sure.
All right,
Speaking
next
of
one
which-
is huge supporter of the show. Kent Hovind CPA isn't able to be online as much because moved to a place that doesn't have much internet. Fuck you, rural America. $2. Light moves at the speed of Tyreek Hill. Very famous Kansas City Chiefs fan, Kent Hovind CPA. I will agree with you, but I will say my Lions almost beat that ass. We had 2 minutes. I'm not going to get into it. Okay, so stupid whore energy, $5. Do you think wafer transubstantiation? Stupid whore energy stumbles me sometimes. Can be
Transubstantiation is the belief that the Catholic Church has that when a priest blesses the wafers and the wine, that it becomes the actual blood and body of Jesus Christ.
Like they
wafer-
are physically taking it when they
Yeah.
eat the wafer. That's Christ's flesh. When they drink the blood, the wine, that is actually Christ's blood. That's
Yeah,
what
that
Catholic
that-
Church.
You heard
that-
it here first. Catholics are cannibals.
Yeah,
that
I mean-
cray Christianity. Cray
Yeah.
Christianity. So can that be tested using wheat primers and human primers?
I think that one was for Neal.
Right.
Yeah, Neal, you're the chemist.
Wait, what'd I do?
So Stupid Whore Energy was asking, do you think that wafers transubstantiation can be tested using wheat primers and human primers?
What? Is this something to do with the whole Jesus wafer bullshit? No.
Yeah.
No.
All right, so no, stupid whore energy. Great
That's
question.
the best version of that question I've heard yet. So, just to say,
All right, so we got more.
I just sent you a super chat. No.
And if they do find human DNA in your grape juice that you've been taking communion on, find a different church.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Well, actually, there is
Well,
a tiny percentage of human, like, pieces and other kinds of animal pieces that are acceptable in your food. This has to do with FDA regulations.
Oh,
It can be
yeah,
up to
yeah,
5
yeah.
rat hairs in every bushel of wheat.
Yeah.
Well, but then the
Insect
thing is,
legs
too,
and
if
poop and
if you find human
Yeah.
DNA in your grape juice, you might want to try a different brand of grape juice.
I prefer my peanut butter with insect parts. Thank you very much.
All right, so Neal, yours is at the bottom of the list along with everybody else's.
Mine at the bottom. I'm used to that. It's okay. I was always the last one picked for the baseball team. So anyway,
Are you trying to say you're a bottom, Neal?
I'm a bottom guy.
All right,
exactly
so
right.
you guys have heard it here. Catholics are cannibals. John can gallop, and Neal's a bottom.
Yeah.
That's canon.
Only on a Raging Atheist.
That's canon.
So, Stupid Whore Energy, $5. Could you use the site to tell me the Powerball numbers?
Who's talking to? Me?
I'm assuming that they're talking to Marty because there's not really a belief like that per se in Hellenism.
If I had the site, bitch, I've already gotten the numbers.
So I will warn you that Stupid Whore Energy is a famous troll.
No, I know.
What
You
the
You know
fuck?
what? The best way to
love
de-troll
her.
a troll is to take their question seriously.
We love
No. If that was a thing, I'd already done it by now.
it. Yeah, I want the Powerball numbers, but I don't play Powerball numbers because only rich people win that shit.
That's what I call my balls, by the way, Powerballs.
Is the site
Just saying.
Is the site anything like The Shine?
Yeah, the Shining.
Yeah.
The Shinin!
The Shining.
Yeah, it is. It's like you know.
All right,
Yeah.
so Maynard saves $2, and this is like in every stream thing. Smoke weed every day.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
That happens every stream.
I was.
Maynard
No.
knows me well. Yeah, I've been I've been partaking all night.
Is that why the screen disappears for a
Yes,
while?
yes, it is. I live in Michigan and it's legal, but I'm still like used to that whole
It's
like
legal here.
I'm still used to the illegal mentality. So like I turn my camera off and I don't want people to see me smoking weed.
You're all like, hang on a second.
Yeah. I'll get there. But yeah, when my camera goes off, I'm smoking weed. So.
I knew it. That's it, Duke. You owe me $10.
And Naka, when you and I meet up, we are going to smoke the fattest laced joint ever. Like, it is going to be the best.
Oh yeah, I had
be there too.
I had a
Hey,
very
you know what? It's a short
special,
fucking drive. Like, do you have if you've got an ID, you can come over. I don't give a fuck.
I had a
I have
very
a car
special.
and
My
ID.
first fan mail ever was weed from Oregon.
By the way, if you ever
He's
did wanted to meet,
blood.
if
Yeah.
you ever did want to
Fun.
meet up, by the way, Neal, I actually have an enhanced ID, so I can cross the border whenever. So, like, we actually could go have lunch or something.
Let's work on that.
We totally should.
Yep.
So,
Well, yeah, like Neal's on your side of Canada, right?
yeah, he's a bit north. He's a bit up north of me.
I'm about an hour and a half away, give or take.
Time zones suck ass, man. I hate them.
Yeah, but they're necessary.
I know. Yeah, I agree with that. But like, man, they suck.
Yeah, they do.
Like Allie wakes up as I'm going to bed or as I'm going to work every day. She's like, "Good morning." I'm like, "I'm walking out the door."
I'm already on my first coffee break, for fuck's sake.
I don't go
Hey.
to work in the morning time. I go to work in the afternoon.
I
Dude,
start
at least
4 a.m.
At least it's
No.
only a 3-hour fucking time difference. My ex, who you had on your show, by the way, he was the one you didn't know who we had on that particular stream. He's in Britain, 8-hour time difference.
Yeah, that's tomorrow when Vegas on. I scheduled it at 12 o'clock. and-
Okay, so guys, when I'm talking about a lace joint, what I'm talking about is it is dipped in keef and generally has oil on the inside of it. These are infused joints that are upwards of 90% and you can get them
Triple
just like
threat.
right down the street from where I live for cheap as fuck.
Woo!
Because weed's legal here.
Dude, I make my own keef. I got a fucking yeah, it's good.
Dude, I make my own oil. I vape and then I take the booty and I fucking make oil out of it.
Yeah.
The booty. Oh boy, really?
Mm-hmm.
See,
Vape
people,
because vape booty actually still has shit
Stay
in
the
it.
hell away from my booty.
people in states, and this is the beautiful thing. So people in states where it's still illegal, they don't understand what you're talking about.
They're like, what's keef?
All right, guys, we are like halfway through the super. We are like 15
all right.
minutes
So we're gonna
off
continue.
of Quentin. Like, we need to get the super chats done.
Yeah. All right.
Epic show though.
I know. I'm totally notorious for going late. So, Stupid Whore Energy, $5. Do you really use quantum physics to explain psychic events?
No.
I mean, quantum physics are just fun to think about in general, but as far as explaining psychic events, that's kind of a fluffy bunny thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of a.
That's a fluffy bun thing. That's the fluffy bunnies that wear fluffy bunny outfits. Like that's their thing.
Yeah. All right. So the next one is stupid horror energy for $2. I am Pazuzu. Roar.
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever floats your boat.
I am horse. Winnie.
I'm Neal.
Stupid horror energy is awesome. Like, I try to explain to people that she trolls a lot, but she's a patron. She's been around forever. Like, she has supported this channel for a long time. I give her much love. But awesome. Stupid horror energy. What the fuck is Pazuzu? Am I in the dark here?
Okay, Pazuzu is the demon that like possesses the like daughter in Hereditary.
All right, yeah, all right.
That's who Pazuzu.
Now it's great. Yeah, now I know. Yeah,
I haven't seen that yet.
All right, I am Pazuzu. Roar. That makes more sense.
The light bulb went boom.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought of something really important. I know you're reading Super Chat. Neal, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Fuck off with that shit.
No, that goes in dumpster fires, John. Go to the Discord and have that discussion in dumpster fires.
That's gonna be another 5-hour conversation, John.
It's
just 6 a.m. in the morning, the stream ends.
All right, so officially, like if a hot dog's a sandwich, so is lasagna, just saying.
Yeah, so is cotton fucking candy. Who cares? It's a hot dog.
You know what? If you talk to Cirrus long enough, the Earth is a sandwich.
Yeah,
exactly. Oh my god, don't even get into that.
Ocean thinks that Pop-Tarts are sandwiches. Ocean thinks that Pop-Tart is a sandwich, and I love Ocean. But
Ocean has shifted his position on this.
He has.
Yeah.
Good.
It is
so glad
he's now a structural purist and an ingredient rebel, but he may actually even shift further towards like purism from there.
I got Martha to agree that if you put something between two Pop-Tarts, it's a sandwich.
Yeah, that is actually true because Pop-Tarts are bread products.
Yes. So you can take a piece of fucking pizza.
I don't care. I like fucking Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, I like Pop-Tarts.
People
All right,
stop
guys.
these arguments because of
I
how
said-
trivial they are, but I have to support them because they promote critical thinking. And at the end of the day, if it gets too fucking ugly, somebody can just step back and say, hold on, who fucking cares? And then you just drop it because it's a stupid ass argument, but it promotes critical thinking. You think it's something that you normally
Dude,
wouldn't.
sandwich epistemology is so much fun with philosophy. Like you can play with philosophy so much.
Yeah. How long did we go on that one night knock? Like
that's like 5 hours.
All right, guys.
And it has went a lot deeper since then. Like I didn't realize it continued, but it continued for months and months. And now people have epistemology of the sandwich, and it's
okay. I
really
also
deep.
like
It's gotten really deep.
Well, I fucked up Ocean on Plato's theory of the forms and stuff because of the way that the theory of the forms works. That was a lot of fun.
Really deep, and I'm still hoping that Cirrus versus Ocean sandwich debate happens. I'm not trying to give away nothing, but I'm calling both of y'all out.
I might have to put that on. I might have to put that on Nerd Wars when I get Nerd Wars.
Pop-Tarts
that might have to be a thing.
Okay. Fuck. Pop-Tarts are not fucking sandwiches. Okay? I don't care
well, tell
what you
Ocean
say.
the next time you see him.
I will bitch slap Cirrus the next time I see him.
No, okay,
I'll probably be sitting beside him, and I'll go.
Neal, this is now official.
Pop-Tarts aren't fucking sandwiches.
Neal, you're tipsy enough to do this. You need to at both of them and just say Pop-Tarts are not a sandwich and start the Twitter fire.
I've already done it within our chat groups.
Yeah.
No, you need to do it in public to start the war. Like this has to happen.
Yeah, we need to get this debate moving forward.
When I get Nerd Wars,
moving forward.
It's
not going to move forward. It's
guys.
It's going to be this cyclone-y, whirlpool-y bullshit thing about. It's like, come on, moron! It's just fucking Pop-Tart. It's not a sandwich.
Guys.
I'm
gonna play mod. I'm gonna do my goddamn job. Not gonna go back to your shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Allie, aren't you glad I showed up? Yeah.
Why hasn't John been booted yet?
I mean, to be fair, you and Naka have been like the two biggest. Like, let's fuck off into the weeds the
Yeah,
whole
this
night.
is fun. Like, it's been a while since we just went off topic for fucking.
Well,
long.
this is what happens when you schedule
been great.
streams when my meds are fucking kicked out. I can't mod right.
No, I took
You
advantage
stacked
of
the
it.
decks against me,
I'm
damn
like-
it.
I'm like, we're gonna have us a fucking fuck you stream. All right. I will get through these. I will.
What even is a mod?
Yeah. Does a moderator even exist?
I mean, like, okay, so let's go ahead and get skeptical. Can you even know that you exist? Like, you think, but do you actually think?
I thought we were getting to the fucking.
Yeah, we're getting.
Let's go back. Let's go back.
Isn't that solipsism?
Stop, Alec.
We've been doing this for like 22 minutes, so yeah, and they're not even that a lot. I mean, it's not a lot.
Hey, we haven't even gotten to the Richard is in the chat bump.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez, when did I say that? That was all the way up here.
Oh wait, no, we're two past it. All right, so
Yeah,
we are at
we're-
Maynard saves $2.
All right, so Maynard saves. $5.
Oh wait, no, Maynard saves $5. Sorry.
I want to smoke a fatty. I do mean fatty.
Me too.
with Richard Madsen and Knock.
I want to like be in a smoking circle with Richard and Knock and Neal, and like that would be the best thing.
I think that would be cool. And then
That's fun.
we'd all have to have like our own joint though, or blunt, or I smoke bongs and
sharing it so that you pass it to
Yeah.
the
No,
person.
that's the
Then
okay.
you get one coming
Knock,
in.
if
Yeah, we're
this,
all
You
if
pass
this is
that one,
fucking
and you get one coming in, and then
Yeah.
you pass that one, and you get one coming.
Knock, if
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
an infused joint, you take 2 hits, you're fucking gone.
No, dude, I'm a champ. I've
Excuse
never
me.
had weed do that to me. Never.
Yeah, me either. I'm an expert. I'm from
It
BC.
It depends on the infused joint, though.
You can infuse it with
an
you
infused
can
drink.
infuse it with Dr. fucking Pepper for all I care.
Yeah, I can't speak from expertise, but
That'd be pretty tasty.
I would try it.
Totally, right?
The best
I would-
infused joint I ever had
down.
had 83% keef, had 90% oil, and it had 30% weed as the base. And it
Wait,
was
that,
like-
that doesn't work mathematically. What are you talking about?
okay. The THC
No, she's
percentage
speaking of
components.
the individual components. She was
The
speaking.
THC
Oh.
percentages of each of the components. So, like out
Oh,
here,
I
when you buy
see.
weed, you see the percentage of THC and other compounds in it.
Yep.
So it was a 90% THC like oil and an 83% THC keef and like a 30% THC weed base, which is like one of the strongest that you can get. That shit was like on your ass.
Well, this stuff here is 78, I think. It's called MK Ultra.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's good stuff. I like that stuff.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
real,
good shit.
real quick,
It's a hybrid.
Not to go back into this discussion, but I've been looking for this because I wanted to read this to you. So the other day, Shannon Q tweeted out she was trying to get folks to suggest what Halloween costume she should wear this year. And
Yeah.
somebody tweeted at her, "You should be a sandwich." And so then I tweeted. I
Stop
tweeted.
it, John.
I said, I tweeted at her, "Are you suggesting she dress as a hot dog or a taco? Which kind of sandwich is what I'm asking?" And then Shannon tweeted at me, all caps, "Die in a fire."
I remember seeing that. That was fucking awesome.
Oh shit!
So anyway,
That was fucking brilliant. Oh my god, that was so funny.
That's pretty good, John. I have to give it to you. All right, we're gonna continue with super chats. We're gonna get through them. I'm gonna go through them really, really fast. We're not even gonna fucking answer super chats anymore. All right.
It might be
So-
5 in the morning, but we'll get through it.
Yeah. I'm so notoriously bad at ending on time.
Me
so
too.
notoriously bad.
What is time even anyway?
I know. Well, time is I gotta be
Fluid.
to interview Faye tomorrow. So.
This
And
is
I
what
have to go get my
this is
daughter
what coffee
before
was
that.
invented for.
Yeah, so I gotta go get my daughter before that. So I gotta be up sober and drivable. All right.
So what
You
you're
have
saying
to
is
be
3 cups
drivable?
of coffee.
Yeah. So we read that one. Maynard says $2, $5 more if Sarah pees on knock. Stupid Whore Energy replies $2, peas on knock. Yeah. So Maynard, $5, yo.
$5. That was cheap.
$2. Does Neal think? Oh, I read that one. There are parallel dimensions. Neal.
Yeah.
Stupid Horror Energy, $5. How do you know your gods aren't just advanced aliens?
I can give a less than 30-second answer to this. If you defined your gods as disembodied minds that either came into existence with the universe or actively created it, then aliens would not fit that definition.
Yeah, but if you define your god as something that lives up in the stars and isn't human, and it has a physical form, then that's by definition an alien. Are you
Any
Christian?
sufficiently advanced technology would look like magic to a.
Yeah, I literally got Matt Powell to admit that by the definition of the term alien, that God is an alien. I did that. Nobody gives me fucking credit for it, but I did that.
I will from now on.
They've only seen Matt Powell shit, so. We did that one. We did that one.
Like it's a speed bump.
Why couldn't an alien have created the universe, though?
So Maynard says for $2. Jill, smoke
How
weed.
could anyone?
Maynard says telling Jill to smoke weed. That's good advice. Stupid Horror Energy, $5. Why does the difference in pH cause
Eukaryotic.
It's flagella, and I responded to her, I don't even know what the fuck that means.
No, I do. This is a pH question, right?
Yeah. Why does the difference in pH cause that word cell to amputate?
Eukaryotic. The thing is not all eukaryotic cells have flagellas, so you'd have to talk about the particular species of eukaryotic cell you're referencing. And Tony actually posted a paper in the chat in response to this question.
Answer that.
Sure.
If it's a eukaryote that you mean like what we originally came from, then the average pH for a eukaryote is between 6 and 7.
So why would it amputate its flagella at a higher or lower pH?
It really wouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that answers it.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Stupid Horror Energy, $5. Do you think Brad Pitt is right? The gods envy us because we're mortal. We all stopped and marveled at the question. We never really answered it. But I think that there is no answer because we can't know. So,
well, I mean, that would be deigning to know the will of the gods, and that is hubris. So
I think we definitely know that Satan was envious of us, so he came down here and screwed us all, and now we're all.
Do we really?
And for the record, that movie Troy stunk on ice. Just saying.
We're almost done, y'all. We're almost done. Maynard says $5. Can pagans explain empirical evidence for their gods as opposed to the Abrahamic? That was answered in the stream. Stupid Horror Energy, $2. How do you explain the fact that I am Pazuzu?
You have been possessed, milady. That's how you are Pazuzu. You were possessed at birth by a family that did a ritual to give your body to Pazuzu, who is quite unhappy with that fact because a female body is apparently unsuitable for him.
And finally,
Pazuzu is really good with marinara sauce.
And finally, $2. Screw from Neal the 604 Atheist. Screw you, Nakasuchi.
I figured it was an apt ending.
Yeah, that might be the
So
best.
Neal, would you like us to leave you two alone?
I mean, is that an offer or a threat, Neal?
Yeah.
Well, take it however you want.
But yeah,
just
I mean,
dress appropriately. That's all.
No, actually, Neal was just giving his curriculum vitae. He went to screw you.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean,
No.
It's
Okay, it's official, John. You've been kicked from the chat. That was terrible.
Hey, man, no kink shaming. Rock out with your knockout, right?
Like AR demons are friends, not food. Nice little.
And the best thing
Nemo
about
reference.
is it tells you how many comments that you've gotten since you left the comment section from the public. And so since I've started reading super chats, I've gotten 120 additional comments. That's how long it fucking took.
That's because it took us a half an hour to read the fucking comments because we all got distracted by sandwich epistemology.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've gotten distracted.
And apparently Nakas.
But this was a fun ass stream, and I just want to thank all of y'all before we, do our final channel shills and get the hell out of here. I just want to thank
Pour yourselves out.
Thank you, Neal. Thank you, Inquisitive. Marty, it's been too long.
Pleasure.
Yeah, it has been long, man.
First time I've had both mods up in the stream in a while. So tonight was great. I had a lot of fun, and thank you guys.
Me too.
Oh, we've got one final super chat coming in at the last minute.
Of course. Nobody wants us to sleep.
Yeah, nobody wants us to go to bed. But it's a good one. $1.99 from Undead Meowth.
Couldn't even do $2.
Yeah.
I'm totally kidding, by the way.
Garfield, and man, Chad just keeps them moving. Garfield is the only God.
And not only is Garfield the only God, but communion in the Garfield church is lasagna and milk.
It works for me.
All right, guys. So, time to hurry yourselves out. Marty, your turn first.
Like I said, I do have the channel. I just have to put it up, and it exists. I just have to get content and get it out there. However, I highly recommend everybody check out Richard Madsen's channel, Demolishing Doctrine, at 5 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be a fun one. So definitely check that one out. But once I get Nerd Wars actually physically running, I'm gonna have Knock pour it out for me, and I might have all of you guys pour it out for me too.
Absolutely.
But yes.
All right, we've got another last minute. Donation.
Even more last minute. Hi. Yeah, so once I get Nerd Wars up, then that'll be out there. But everybody, if you can, check out Richard Madsen at 5 p.m. Eastern, Demolishing Doctrine. That's going to be fun.
I have a feeling I made yet another new bestie. Marty, you and I totally need to trade contact info after this. Like, we need to get to know each other.
My email's right there. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
Yeah, I might not have told you, Allie, how much you were going to like Marty.
You didn't tell me shit.
I waited for it. I waited for it.
Did you hear the venom in that knock? Holy shit, Nakatsuchi.
No, like Naka knows how much I fucking love him. We talk every goddamn day. I freaking picked on him this morning because he got the times wrong in his calendar when he was setting it up.
Yeah, I'm stupid.
Yeah, you should have seen me. You should have seen me when I got those emails. I'm like, what?
What the fuck?
8 in the morning. I love Faye, but I ain't getting up at 8 in the morning.
I got everyone wrong. Like, how the fuck do you get everyone wrong?
All right. So our very own, lovingly named Horseface, John, you want to shill out amateur conversationalist for us?
So, first of all,
it's getting hard to stay American.
Yeah, I don't even know why you try. Like, just go with the other one all the time.
She doesn't understand how we love accents here. I mean, she's in America. What the fuck am I like here?
Here in this chat room now. Save your own butt, Naka.
So, first of all, I just want to say, please, help Puff out if you can, and if you can or if you can't, please, share the link to his GoFundMe on social media. Knock will tell you more about this when he speaks, but tomorrow at noon, I'm back on this channel. Tomorrow at 4, I'm going to have Nick Suter on the Amateur Conversationalist, and we're going to talk about something that I'm sure many folks don't know. Not too many folks know about Nick. Wednesday, I'll be right back here doing something. I don't know what yet. And a week
looking all horse-like.
Yeah.
John, I have Wednesday night off again, so we can actually have a room. But if you need me, I'll be here. If not, then I will be in the chat trolling your ass.
Yeah.
Well, we might have to have you on to prevent that. But yeah, if you've got Wednesday off, we're going to figure something out and do it. Maybe you and me could get Kent and Matt to come on.
Oh my god!
Come on, John. Don't just have him on to avoid the trolling. Getting trolled by Naka is an act of love.
Yeah, and
He's come in and trolled in our chats before. Like it's.
I have an open
He's
invitation.
legit done it.
Matt, I don't think I can let Matt back on unless he's going to come on and tell me that he's sorry for being Matt. But Kent Hovind, I have an open invitation to come and defend himself.
Oh, he'll talk to anybody because he's a fucking narcissist and he thinks those fucking little.
Well, he'll talk to anybody about evolution.
Yeah.
What I want him to come and do is talk to me about his atrocious views on homosexuals, on women that cheated on their husbands, on children that would say like "fuck you, dad." Like, no, you shouldn't just kill the motherfucker. You put him in a corner. I want to have that conversation with Kent Hovind.
He'll have a PowerPoint presentation for that too. He'll talk to anybody because he's a narcissist.
If Kent ever comes on in the future, can you stipulate to him that he's not allowed to wear a Hawaiian shirt?
Yeah, he's got to wear a wife beater. Straight up.
Oh,
Straight up. He's an ex-convict. He can come up on my channel.
Make him
I'll wear my wife beater too. We can
all right. Make sure you memorize the number and don't refer to him as Hovind.
Also, just got one more thing to say, and then to Shill, and I just want to say, and not too many people in the audience, around maybe one person or two people on the panel might get this, but I know for a fact that Kent came back to his cell more than once and found a payday bar on his mattress. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
Shots fired, John. Shots fired.
So, and any of you folks that
know this for a fact, how?
Well, because I always every week got payday bars on my commissary.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I wasn't upstate with Kent, so I don't know it for a fact. I just know it to like 99.999% certitude. But and then a week from tonight, I'll be back on the GDC, and there again, I don't know what we'll be doing, but we'll be doing something. But that's it.
Yeah, September 19th, I'll be on the GDC.
So what you mean to say, John, is that we don't necessarily know for a certain that he got payday bars on his mattress, but there's always a possibility.
I mean, we just don't know. We just don't know.
I know for certain. I know for certain that Kent Hovind has had a jailhouse burrito. I know that.
God!
I know that for certain. And if you've never been to jail, you don't know what the fuck I'm talking to. If you have been to jail, I'm delicious, but you will never eat it in the real world.
Look, I'm not saying that somebody in prison made Kent their bitch. I'm just saying we don't know.
All right, let's let Neal shield himself out, guys.
Who, me?
Really? Didn't I already do that when I got here?
Well, we always let our guests shield themselves out at the end of every show. Like, you get to be a whore twice.
Yeah, we let you shield all you want.
I love whores. I think whores are great.
The goal is to get you to 1,000 subs. So hopefully we get you right fucking there.
Well, 1,000 yet?
No, I know. It's getting close. I'm like 30 something away, I think.
Neal is tragically undersubscribed. Like, seriously, you guys go fucking subscribe.
I'm a subscriber.
Yes, you are.
Subscribe when I get up.
And real quick, we did have
my
one
ass out of this chair. I'll subscribe.
And Morgan for $1.99. Even more last minute. Hi.
Yeah, we read that one.
Thanks, Morgan.
Look, if just three people in the live chat go right now and make 10 sock accounts each and subscribe to Neal's channel.
So what you're saying is we need to get Jill to subscribe with all of his sock accounts.
Right, yeah, Jill. Hey, Jill, look. Hey, Jill, go over to Neal's channel, subscribe with all your sock accounts, and he'll be at 1,500.
Yeah, that way when he starts banning your ass, it'll be like 3 months before you're actually banned.
I won't ban anybody. I'm a big believer in
Jill is gonna test your patience.
You'll be banning some Jill sock accounts, trust me.
Okay, all right.
He's gonna test your patience, Neal, like you have no
He just
idea.
issued a challenge to Jill.
Moderator. Trust me, he's covered.
All right, IQ, it's your turn to
hold
show
on,
yourself
hold on.
out.
Fraudulent information you might buy as reality are always based in your own ignorance. Wow.
Who said that?
Okay, I see what you mean already.
The person is an atheist, I think.
Oh, all right. So, all right. Yeah, all right. I'm seeing it now. Okay. It's not a Jill sock account. We're good.
Okay, all right. So, anyways, I'm supposed to be shilling. Yeah, I have a little show that I do where I
Be
talk
the
to people
whore you were
about.
always meant to be.
Are you delayed or something? Or
Slightly.
okay.
There's a slight delay, and there was also somebody nagging me, like trying to figure out why the hell I'm a half an hour off of when I said I'd get off the computer.
Oh, well, tell them to shut up. Anyways, so I have a little show where I talk to people about why they left religion, how they ended up doing so. We talk about beliefs, all that kinds of stuff, and I also do after parties afterwards. And I will be talking to fuck this all backwards shit. Nokasuchi, whichever direction this points. Very, very soon on the 26th, right? Yeah,
28th.
28th. I keep saying 26 for them. I like sixes. Anyways, yeah, and we talk to people about beliefs, and it's usually a really, really good chat, and a lot of fun is had, and usually the after parties are even more mental than the interviews. So, yeah. It's a lot of fun.
I have a real request real quick for IQ goes. Neal, could you maybe make it a regular feature, like maybe every couple months or so, to do a flip the script episode and have a former atheist on that became an atheist?
Huh?
A former
atheist became a Christian?
If you like,
if I did it, a former atheist that became a Christian.
Right, that deconverted from atheism.
A reconversion story.
A reconversion, yeah. It's extremely rare, but it does happen.
I mean, technically, I'm an atheist who converted to polytheism, and that'll be in my story.
I do that already.
Me on.
I do that already. I've had multiple on. I've had Callan on. I've had Ocean. I've had Red. I've had a bunch of people that leave one belief system for another. A deconversion doesn't necessarily mean you're going to go right to atheism. You might leave one belief system for another. So I do that as well.
And I just outed myself as not having watched all your episodes. I don't know.
There's a lot of them, man. So it's like 100 and something of them. So.
To what Neal is saying, it is very rare for, like, say, a former Christian that became an atheist to go back to Christianity. That's very rare. You hear a lot of Christians say they did it,
which is bullshit.
But it's bullshit.
However, it is fairly.
It does happen, but 99% of the time it's bullshit.
It is fairly common in the pagan community, though, for you to hear about pagans who used to be atheists who became pagan because of some god experience or another.
Yeah,
there's a lot of Christians. There's a lot of Christians that were former atheists, though, too.
Well,
so they say. And now we're using our own version of the no-true Scotsman fallacy.
Yay!
I mean, I've even had like friends, like the guy that made my intro, the animation at the beginning of all of my.
You have friends?
Videos. Yeah. I mean, he was a Christian friend. His name was Mad Love. Met him through that Christian blogger.
That's really Christian.
Yeah, he sent me he sent me my intro, and he was a guy that often said that he was a former atheist that became a Christian, and I would call him out like, dude, I like you, but no atheist ever said any of the shit that you're saying right now. Like, never, never, like I'm calling bullshit here.
Oh wait, I know what you're saying. You're talking about how when people like Christians who claim they used to be atheists, and then they say crazy shit that they believed when they were an atheist. That sounds made up. Like
Matt Powell says, I was an atheist when I was 12 years old. Like, no, the fuck you weren't. I met your dad, dude.
So, guys,
I have an issue here with J.I. Person or whatever it is in the chat there. Calling religion being a mental deficiency. It has nothing to do with that. Your religion is an accident of birth for the most part. Some people jump from one to a different belief system because they weren't happy in the original one, but your religious beliefs are an accident of birth. It has nothing to do with your mental capacity at all. You were indoctrinated into a belief system by people you trusted, who are also indoctrinated into a belief system by people they trusted. This is something that goes down for generations. Eventually, some people find their way free of it. So don't say that it's a mental issue, because it's not. It's just you're convinced of something. That's all it is.
It is. I am an atheist that I do not fall on that side of the argument. That is an extreme position to hold. That religion is a mental deficiency, and it is clear. It is against the rules of my chat, of my Discord. I welcome open conversation, but when you say that, you are not welcoming open conversation. You're creating a toxic conversation. To me, that is atheist toxicity that I just don't want to really be a part of. Now, we can have conversations about philosophy, if I could fucking speak. Philosophy. We can have conversations about what's logic, what's rational, and what's not. But the moment you start tossing around medical terms and attributing that to religion, you're crossing a line. And it's not only a line that's offensive to believers, it's a line offensive to people that actually have mental deficiency. So that is against the rules. Maybe you haven't seen me enough to realize that I fall on that side of the argument.
No, he got banned in the last stream for making that same argument.
I literally see the atheists that make that argument as extremists. That's my opinion on it.
Well, that, and they're usually new atheists and quite angry and have a lot of opinions, we'll say.
I have made the argument in the past as the raging atheist. I've made that. You can go back in my video log and you'll find me saying that shit. I have grown out of it. I don't blame you for thinking that, but you're wrong.
Yep.
All right, guys. I am getting nagged by both of the guys now, so I do kind of need to wrap things up a little bit.
Kai, it's been awesome. You're great.
It has been a really good stream.
Thank you.
A lot of fun. It's been great. Ali is a great mod. I'm sorry that you had to put up with us getting off topic all goddamn night.
I mean, to be honest, I was part of it because my ADHD fucked off into the weeds.
You did, Neal.
Yeah, I was part of it because my ADHD fucked right off into the weeds because my meds kick out, generally between 9 and 11, sometimes as early as 8, depending on the manufacturer that I end up getting them from. These ones seem to kick out around 9, so right when shit was starting, guess whose meds were kicking out? So I've been kind of halfway out of it.
Late night Saturday night streams are not going to happen anymore. We tried, and luckily we got a really great room. It happened very last minute, though. Nobody's like, no, fuck it.
Those are the best ones, though, dude.
Yeah. It was last. Neal will tell you. I emailed him. Dude, we're gonna interview.
Oh God, we've got So Naka, I'm going to request that we do a room, and specifically invite Shannon Q on and a few other with some verses in psychology. We need to clear up the definition of mental illness for a few people in the chat who don't seem to understand it.
And Shannon will be here in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, Shannon is somebody that I highly respect, and I would love to have her in a room for that particular topic. We did a stream on self-harm a while back that I moderated that went really, really well. But I think clearing up the definitions of mental illness and doing a room on that particular topic on the way that mental illness functions and why calling religion a mental illness isn't necessarily productive. I think Shannon would be perfect for that. I think there are a few other people that we could call in who have some level of psychological background. Kat might even be interested. I think that we need to do that for the members of the audience that seem to have trouble with what the definition around mental illness, mental disability is, etc. Because there's some folks in the chat that don't seem to understand that.
Yeah, it's a very anti-theistic point of view. Neal's right. I think that a lot of us felt that way at one point or another. If we're real atheists, I understand. Your argument. I disagree wholeheartedly, and I think that probably with time you'll disagree with yourself. I'm going to put it that way.
Yep, we all
do. All right, so I want to let IQ do his shilling really quick, and then Naka can wrap up.
Nobody cares about IQ. No, I'm just kidding.
IQ is the most patient motherfucker I have ever met in my life. Right? I am so sorry.
Probably the best guest ever.
He has to put up with me all the time. This guy knows levels of patience I didn't even know existed.
What's patience worth unless there's a weight to endure?
Ooh. Confucius say.
Yeah, that needs to be a fortune cookie.
We're gonna start making all these T-shirts one of these days. I promise you. That just made it on one of them.
Also, now that you've mentioned
Beautiful.
T-shirts, Priapos hath blessed this particular room.
yeah, that T-shirt's coming too.
One of my sayings is on one of the David Worley podcast T-shirts.
Yeah, I like
The bacon one.
When I went on his podcast, I'm like, "Ooh, you got a good idea here."
Yeah, he's good people, man. David's great people.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
How about a priest with a glass of grape juice in one hand and a cracker in the other? Christians are cannibals.
All right, guys, we need to let IQ chill himself so we can get the fuck out of here.
Let the poor guy go.
Okay,
I'm figuring it
there's
out.
not much personal shilling that needs to take place here. I'm on Twitter, Inquisitive Quandary 1. I'm not much for making content on YouTube because I really don't have the means to make a video that I think would be up to par with what I feel like putting out there. So I play support. I support people who I believe are doing the best good because that's the best good I can do for everybody. I run Neal's Discord because people talk all day up and down how criminally undersubscribed he is, and to say you're a moderator on his channel, it doesn't say much because it's a sea of blue. But nobody, there was all these branches, and he's got all the necessary links. He does his homework. They're all there, but there was no shilling happening. So Neal's one of the first guys that I interacted with when I first joined Twitter, and took a liking to him. And it's he's the real deal. So he needed some help. I put it out there because he is the humanist that it's by his actions. He really cares about people. So that's where I help.
Hey guys, we've got a couple of praise Priaposes in the chat.
Appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think that's why I've always been drawn to Neal. Is like I see that, we're humanists together. And
Similar values.
I've always felt that.
And heartfelt.
Yeah.
Neal has all the love.
And I forgot to mention, I found out today through speaking to my biological sister that I have some Métis blood in me.
Oh, that's exciting.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you're really part of the community now.
Yeah, that means that there's at least 3 Native Americans in the chat right now.
There you go. So I have some, I'll honestly, I'll say that my level of proud of who I am went up a notch.
Oh yeah. When I found out, I felt the same thing. Like I'm like, I think a lot of people would be like, oh God, not me. I'm like, fuck yeah, man.
No, because you're a bigger part of the human experience now.
Yeah. When you really know what you are, then you know what you are. Like
I didn't have it for years.
Yeah. I think it made me feel a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
You said that you were adopted into the Haida tribe, though.
Who?
Me? Oh, I have friends that did that. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They said,
All right,
we'll make you an honorary tribe member kind of thing.
Nah, crap,
Yeah,
you guys are bickering. We
Cherokees
probably need
used to do
to
that
wrap the stream up.
Cherokees used to do that, and I think they stopped now. No Dapple fucked a lot of shit up.
All right, we got to wrap up here, Naka. So.
Yeah. All right, so let me think. Tomorrow at noon, I am going to be talking to my crush.
Faye the most gracious.
I mean, she is. I don't know. She's like me, right? Like she's like
Faye's awesome,
a very young Muslim version of a raging atheist. But she doesn't like labels, and she's gonna come on and she's gonna talk about some of the hate she gets. She's gonna talk about whatever the fuck she wants to talk about because Faye can carry a conversation. So tomorrow's gonna be a really good conversation. John's gonna be there with me. We're gonna have Faye the most gracious on. I'm really, really excited. I really like Faye. Like John just invited me to his conversation with her, he was like, "Hey, dude, you really need to check this person out. She is just like you in a lot of different ways." I checked her out, and John was right, and we hit it off really, really well. And
So did we.
yeah, I mean, she's a really, really good person, and she's going to give you an insight into something I don't talk too much about, which is Islam. I focus on Christianity. So we're going to have that tomorrow. Tuesday, Richard Madsen is going to be on. I believe, Allie, you're going to be there, and John, you might be able to be there. That's at 9 p.m. Tuesday. Tuesday or Wednesday, really super late, that Christian vlogger is coming on. And then I'm going to determine what night after that the show is going to be on. It's not going to be Saturday nights. So, yeah, go ahead, Neal.
Just to jump in here, if you do things on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I am generally free. If you do like an after sort of situation, or you need an extra person to jump in, I'd be happy.
Oh, that would be awesome. Because I'm thinking Tuesday nights might be the night that I do my show now. I got to talk to my work and make sure that I can get that night to be the night. Because it used to be, what was it before?
It was Mondays.
Yeah, it was Mondays, and everything got messed up.
So Neal,
Well, if you end up doing Tuesdays, I should be available. You just got to make sure that it's far enough after my appointment. So it has to be like, I think 9 your time for me to be able to make it.
Yeah, which
hey,
is
Neal, I have a future stream coming up with historian Misha Griffith that I think would be perfect for you. We're going to talk about the history of bandanas.
What, really?
No, I'm fucking with you totally.
I'm like, wait a minute, is there a history for bandanas? I just thought it went back to the 60s of like Easy Rider shit and stuff.
Yeah,
like
that just blew my mind. I'm like, what the
gypsies
fuck?
or something.
I'm like, I never heard of a history of bandanas unless you're going to talk some like gangbanging shit.
By the way, for my personal shill, I actually am part of 2 different YouTube channels. One of them is Sticks and Stonehenge. That's the pagan channel, formerly known as
really
Polyology. We do weekly streams every Thursday. That's actually about to change pretty soon. We're going to be moving the day. We're thinking it might actually get moved to Monday or Wednesday, but we're still kind of hashing it out. The addition of Wolf kind of complicates the scheduling as far as streams and stuff are concerned. So we're trying to figure that out.
Fucking Wolf, huh?
Callan and I, Wolf is amazing. He's a fantastic contributor. We did a great conversation on community over at our channel. If you guys go check it out. We talked a lot about like interfaith community, and we also talked about the importance of pagans and atheists getting along so that we can kind of put a stop to Christian hegemony. So I think you guys would really enjoy that discussion.
We will be taking up this topic again, and we got off topic a lot, but we will be taking up this topic again with Wolf, because Wolf did have a lot to say, but he works a lot and it's hard to get him.
Mm-hmm.
I had him on recently.
So the other big thing that's going to be going on Sticks and Stonehenge is Callan and I are actually working on a series of responses to spirit science, because she's got a lot of problems with their takes on Sumerian mythology. And anybody here who knows my educational background knows that I wanted to punch my screen when they started talking about nutrition and called iron a macronutrient. So if you guys are interested in that sort of pagan rage,
I'm down for that.
You'll probably enjoy that. We're working on that series. It's going to launch sometime in the next couple of weeks, but like it's worth subscribing for.
Spirit science gives me a fucking headache and a toothache all in one.
But they're the most popular pagan YouTuber on YouTube right now, and it makes me want to cry. They're the fluffiest bun I have ever run into in my entire life. Like, they're a fluffy bunny cosplaying as a fluffy bunny, like with a side order of fluffy bunny.
And real quick, everybody's link is in the description below, except for John's, because he was supposed to be sleeping. So John's link.
John sucks.
Yeah.
The other channel that I'm a part of does not have any content up because one of our animators is having some issues, but that is Collective U, which is a lefty YouTube collaborative project with myself, Pig Puncher, and Cirrus. We also have Wolven Rain, who, if anybody watched Cirrus's live stream from a few days ago, he was the one who did the really awesome, like the 50 Shades of Grey quotes, but in the announcer voice that you hear in every trailer ever. He's an amazing, amazing voice actor.
World.
So, yes, he does that voice, but that is his voice. Like, it's fucking brilliant.
Well, wait a minute, so I'm just something. I mean, so Sticks and Stonehenge. That's the new name of former Polyology.
Yep, Sticks and Stonehenge is the new polyology named STYX, Sticks and Stonehenge.
Yeah, and that description is in the link below. That link is in the description below. Holy shit, it's really, really late.
Yeah, I was just going to one little
Knock
quick
has
thing.
lost brain cells.
Keep an eye on Prophet of Zod's channel because I've been doing voice work for his stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, I love Prophet of Zod. He's one of the few people I actually do make time to watch kind of religiously.
But yeah, so there's my little personal shield. Thanks again, as always, Knock, for having me here and letting me moderate for you. Like, you're an amazing friend, and I really enjoy doing this stuff.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry we got but man, it was a lot of fun. I appreciate
3 hours, brother.
3 hours.
Yeah, I know. We were an hour past when I said I'd get off. The guys are about to like throw a fucking riot out there, I swear.
Yeah, I know. I've literally got to be up in like 7 hours to go pick up my daughter. So we are going to get out of here this time for real. Thank you guys all for sticking around. Like, man, you guys stuck around all fucking night. Great conversation. Lots of fun. It's been a while since we had one of these loose things. Like, Neal, definitely Tuesday nights, if you're open, we're going to get you on a lot more shows, man.
I'm down.
Glad that you was able, like I've been trying to get Neal on for a while, and scheduling conflicts and time zones.
We were streaming at the same time.
Bro. Yeah, we stream at the same time. So
hey, Knock. Next time you're gonna do another one of those debunking videos where people like, oh, witchcraft, blah blah blah. Let me know.
Yeah, I am
honestly. If you ever want to go up against Woo, like you will have so many pagans that will join you.
Let me know.
And I have people working with me to try to teach me how to do some collaborations. So yeah, we'll be doing some collaborations for some edited videos coming in the future. Yeah, it's gonna get a lot better, but it's 3:00 and we're getting the fuck out of here. So
good night, everybody.
It's midnight where I am. Good night, everybody.
We need a conversation.
Bye. Thank you.